Hey, what's up, y'all? What does that say? You're being live streamed. Okay. I think we on. Let me go ahead and make sure I can pull up the screen so I can see. What's up, y'all? AWB, we in here. Let me make sure I turn this off. Okay. I'm gonna wait a few minutes for everybody to come in. Hey, what's up, Lou? Let me get this set up. Okay. This. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? There it is. Yeah, so I want to play this video and we're going to kind of review it together to talk about, you know, how we being treated, how the citizens are being treated. Yes. Appreciate that, Lou. I want to play this video and we're going to kind of review it together. Talk about, hold on. My bad. All right. Making sure we're good. All right, Lou, you said you're sharing the screen. We'll see how long we've been on. Do it tell you? Hey, Jomo, what's up? I want to go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and start, and everybody else can just catch the replay. All right, so just want to play this. We're gonna talk about this video. This was like one of the worst experiences I ever had when I started doing this. Hold on. Yeah, I can.
No, you can't. Oh, it's just a federal building?
Yeah.
You can't film in a federal building? Is that like 101 for you? Kindergarten, first grade, third
You
grade?
can record in the federal thing.
So is that how it is?
Well, I want to
How
know.
it is? I do as I want to do until I'm told what the law is.
No, it's if I'm not breaking the law, leave me alone.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. All right.
You don't feel like that? I thought that was being free in America. I thought that. Okay, so yeah, so this was me at the city of Aventura. See, I walked in, checked out everything, seeing what was going on, minding my business. That guy, he was talking junk later on, but watch how I greet him, you know. Well, I guess I didn't greet him, but he didn't say nothing to me then, and he saw me.
It's second. The second. Second. No.
You'll see the city clerk and also to see the building.
What?
To see the building.
To see the building?
Yep.
Is there, like, do you have a permit for that or something?
Yep.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
And can I see it?
See what?
You said you have a permit for it?
Yeah.
Okay, can I see it?
See what? The permit to film?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Kindergarten, first grade, third
You
grade?
can yeah, Lou, that Was it Gilmore? Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
You know,
I knew when she said that. How you gonna say I'm the is that kindergarten? First of all, she doesn't even know where she works, but I knew that, you're allowed to record. So, that didn't really bother. That just was made me know that she didn't know what she was talking about. And she's just one of those people who, they'll say anything to try to make you feel bad or try to, you know, feel I don't know what she was trying to do, but it wasn't working.
It being the federal building,
That they allow you to do that.
Look, first of all, she didn't know. She said, I think they don't let you. Yeah.
All right, so you're just gonna go to the second floor and that's it?
I may see more of the building.
Yeah, you cannot.
It says you.
Yep.
And
If
who are
you
you?
want a police officer to tell you that?
Who are you?
What do you mean, who am I? Who are you?
Now, she told me, she said, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that. Then I asked her, well, who are you? Then she don't want to say who she is. How are you gonna be demanding all this stuff? And
Who are you?
I don't even know who you
You
are.
work for the public. Who are
Who
you?
are you?
Who are you? You're working
You're
at the
coming
front
in
desk.
here, so who are you? I
Yeah.
gotta make sure that I know who's coming into this building. You can't just come in here.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't.
Who told you this?
Who told you this?
Who told you?
Who told you
The
this?
Constitution.
You need to leave.
No, I don't.
And you read the Constitution?
Yes.
Really? Tell me a little snippet of it. Go ahead.
Well, the First Amendment tells me I can report and come into a public building.
No, you can't.
Look, now she she say, okay, well, did you read the Constitution? Well, tell me something about the Constitution. I tell her something that's in the Constitution and she don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you cannot. You need to leave the building.
Okay.
You see, what happens, let me tell y'all what happens. So what happens is I come there and I'm really, really nice. And for some reason, they think it's sweet, or they think I'm sweet by being nice. But the reason I'm nice is so we don't have these type of encounters, because a lot of times people tell me that when I'm talking to people, I'm very aggressive or like demanding, like it's like I'm almost trying to always tell people what to do. So in order for me, I try to not do that. And people take that kindness for weakness.
Who put you up to this? Your friend Joel Christian?
Who are you?
Hey, Dave, I need a couple police officers here, please.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Gilmore.
Yes, sir. I'm pressing my button and nobody's arrived. We have the filming. Okay, bye. Yeah, okay, okay.
We have.
Do you have more? Great.
Okay.
She was saying, you're brave. She was trying to scare me, but I wasn't getting scared. So she just kept trying to like make it, I don't know.
Ma'am,
Thank you, Karen. What's up?
You not having a good day?
I appreciate you.
Because if it's you, you're burning.
Are you not having a
You
good
need to
day?
leave the building.
Okay.
You need to leave the building, walk out. And just go about your business somewhere else, man. Go film Dunkin' Donuts or something. Why do you need to film a federal building? It's a federal building. Get out of the building.
You see him over there, that guy, him right here. He's gonna come back later and be talking junk. After he heard her talk all that junk, then saw the police educate her and then let me back in. And then after all that, he comes back and try to tell me to leave her alone. Like she wasn't the bully.
You can film that.
Why are you telling me to leave?
Because it's a federal building.
Okay.
And for the safety of the residents and the customers, you cannot
She had such bad energy. Like you can
do that.
see.
Can I-
What are you
film?
filming? Walls and stairs? Why is this so important to film walls and stairs in a building?
I mean, it's a city building.
So what?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Go to a museum and film a museum. See if they let you do that.
That like you see, this was the same person that said this is kindergarten 101 that you can't film in the federal building, but that's not the federal building. And then she just throws some other stuff like go film in the museum.
Go to the bank and film a bank.
Why would I why would I go to the bank when the bank is a private business? Dunkin' Donuts is a private business, a museum is a private business. I'm not in a private business. I'm in a public building.
See,
I
they let
did.
you do that. Go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay,
You need to go.
okay.
I don't know.
Inside to the right.
She needs to be working at Dunkin' Donuts, cleaning up or something. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that because I respect everybody's job, no matter what it is. So I wouldn't even talk about nobody's job description at all because every job needs to be done by somebody. So
Get out.
Yeah,
Hi, how's it going?
so it's going fine. Yeah. She
You're
has
not
a,
allowed to come in and film and walk.
what is she talking about?
Walk outside, please.
but that's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Can we walk outside?
Now see, he's like, yeah, it is. All of them had to eat their words. That's what made this so sweet. But look how they just so quick to jump on her side. Didn't do no research, didn't talk to a supervisor to find out if she knew what she was talking about or anything. Just she's right.
You're gonna bring a supervisor? Yeah, we can walk outside, but you're gonna grab a supervisor?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
One,
What's your
two,
name? Let's start there.
Officer Chidas,
Okay, badge number?
186. What's your name? ma'am?
Okay. Name and badge number? I need to, everybody who's involved.
so you got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think
Name
it's
and
5
badge
of them.
number of everybody who's out here, please.
All right, listen. This is it's a government building, but it is a place of business. And if you're disrupting.
I didn't disrupt anyone. She did.
Okay.
They always, I'll show y'all, they always gonna jump in and say that, oh, you're disrupting this or this and that.
If there's any disrupting, and we have the right to ask you to leave.
But I didn't disrupt anyone.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you're coming in here fully masked. Thank you. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, we good?
No,
I don't know what that was. Okay, we good. I never had the problem.
I went to,
Here's you wanted to,
yeah,
I got a captain for you.
yeah,
Captain
so,
Smith.
So you got the captain right here who, I'm not gonna say nothing about that. Y'all can see for yourself.
so I was aware that a federal building meant it was open to the public.
This isn't a federal building.
She said it was federal building.
It's a city building, municipal.
Oh, so she's wrong. Okay, well, she said it was a federal building and she was hollering that. So all I was doing was recording, gathering content for my story. She had an issue with that. I believe I'm able to do that. It's within my rights. So,
You can report out here if you like to,
but what is the issue with me recording this?
because we have victims of crimes coming in here and they don't,
That was like, how would I know if that's a victim of a crime? How would anybody else know if they would the victim? How would anybody know if this person was a victim of a crime? And if that person was that scared or whatever, they would usually cover up. They wouldn't let you see. They know that they're in public, so they would cover up more. Like they would have a mask, they would have sunglasses on, they would have a hat, or probably a big jacket or something to be incognito in public, but they know they're going to a public place. But this wasn't even about victims or anything like that. He's just saying that just to say it because that's what they do when they try to find anything to make it seem like it's a real reason not for you not to conduct your First Amendment protected activity.
I want to be recorded.
I'm not recording anybody.
Well, if you were recording me now, that's a body.
Well, I'm recording, yeah, now because
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
talking to
body.
you, but I wasn't before. I walked in, I was minding my
There's people
business.
inside there.
Yeah.
And some of them are victims of crimes that come in here. So we don't,
What does that mean? Anybody can be a victim of a crime, no matter where you go. What?
want you recording their faces and broadcasting.
But you wanted me to do that versus is it illegal or against the law? It's two different things. It's legally, I'm supposed to be able to.
I'm not,
Now, as soon as you talk about what's legal and what's not, what's the law, Now it's, I don't want to argue.
Gonna stand here and argue with you.
I'm not trying to have an argument with you. I'm just wondering, why are you enforcing her feelings
All right, Jill Moore, take care. Hey, what's up, Paul? I think it was the first video of yours that I saw.
and not the law?
It's not their feeling.
It
They
is her
have a right.
feeling.
Now he's saying it's not their feelings. It's her feelings. Nobody who was a victim of anything came up to them and said, this guy, I don't want this guy recording me. And he's trying to, no victim came and say that. The only person who said it was her. And honestly, this is a government facility. This lobby part wasn't even the police department area. The police department area was past where I was. And it's a side entrance to get there.
To be protected if they're victims.
What are you talking about? Nobody said anything about being a
I've
victim.
got things to do, sir, so.
Yeah, your job is to serve the people.
Now they got things to do and they try to make it seem like it's my fault that they all of them are out there wasting resources. They need to go talk to her because she hit the panic button.
They don't serve people. You didn't give your name, nothing. Can you give your
And so I don't want to keep cutting off, but then they say you're wasting our time. We're paying for that.
name?
Andy Smith.
Andy Smith, you?
Detective Leoncini.
Say again?
Detective Leoncini.
Lansing, you?
Bonneville.
Bonneville? And
Casino.
all of you have badge numbers, right?
110. 136. 143.
143. Badge number?
184.
184. So, and you're the supervisor. Where are your,
See, like he said he was done or he didn't want to argue. So I didn't know why he was still standing out there. So I guess now I got to make up something to, okay.
stripes?
He's not a sergeant.
Okay. Do you have a sergeant that can come out here?
He's higher than a sergeant.
I'm the next.
You're higher than sergeant.
Wow.
So you being higher than the sergeant. What what issue is it with recording in public buildings?
You can record in the lobby, not in the police.
I was in the lobby.
Okay,
He lied about it. He said now is, you see how they switching it up and they're starting. Now that I'm talking about the law and all that. Now he's saying, okay, you can record in the lobby, but not the police lobby. Well, that's false. That's false as well. But
you're disrupting a business. But this is
Okay.
a government building.
Okay,
People don't want to be reported. People be walking
I
around.
wasn't recording people.
Yes, you are. You were pointing.
What's up,
a camera at
Blackbird?
somebody.
Yeah, because
If
she
not,
called
then you're trying to entice people into an argument.
how when I was minding my business.
They would not have called us if you weren't disrupting the business.
again, no type of investigation. They just going based off of her word and talking about, oh, they wouldn't have called. They wouldn't have called if you didn't do anything. Obviously, y'all saw me not doing nothing. She still hit the panic button.
She felt, because I don't know, she doesn't like what I'm doing.
No, because somebody complained that you're in there recording.
Can we go ask her if that happened?
Yeah.
No, you don't want to.
Now we can't do. Now we can't do the
They
investigation.
called us, it was a complaint from an employer or whoever it was that property.
Okay,
Okay, but now you're wasting the
No,
citizens' time.
they're wasting time.
Now they care about the. I'm sorry to keep stopping you, but now they care about the citizen time. Come on now. What about my time?
Wasting our
You're
time.
wasting it because I was doing all these people folks on over. Wasting
That's what I was
wasting.
saying. Yeah, these resources for your content. What's your content?
Yeah. My purpose is to gather content and
What's your content?
distribute to the public.
So besides tying up resources.
Documenting public facilities and the interactions between public officials and government workers with the public. That's my goal.
All right.
Yeah, and
Damn, that's a. They didn't expect that. Oh, you actually do have a real goal.
and
All right. So
my
you-
audience likes to see why this type of response for me just recording and minding my business. I wasn't yelling at anybody. I didn't come in there hostile. She has a bad attitude. I can't believe she
So still recording?
Yeah, yeah.
So let me ask you something,
Mhm.
because you didn't like her attitude. Who's been hostile other than her in your eyes?
Nobody.
Nope.
I said no one because nobody put their hands on me. But this whole situation is hostile. You got five officers that basically almost surrounded me. 2 squad cars. You know, if that's not hostile,
Nobody.
Yeah, you're jumping
Okay.
with us now. we're
Yeah,
jumping. That's
exactly.
the way it is.
So listen,
I didn't feel like they were about to shoot me though. I can say that.
you don't know who you are. You're coming in here masked again. You can't be out here like that, fully masked.
You say, they say wear mask, wear mask, wear mask. I wear it.
There's a difference with wearing a mask
Now-
around your mouth and your nose, and then your whole entire head concealed,
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
you know?
But if you would ask,
So-
can I see your face? I would put my, I'm not hiding.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be out. It's against the
Yeah.
law to be
You
covered up.
That's not true.
It's against the law to be it's against the law to be wearing a mask when you're committing a crime.
Come
Yeah,
on now.
yeah, it is.
Get real.
Yeah,
Get real. Get real.
I
It
read the
is.
law.
Show
it
me the
is.
law.
So I don't know what, I don't,
law-
listen.
It's not even a law.
Whatever law school you went to,
Can you
statute.
tell me what law
There's
that is?
exemptions like Halloween and stuff like that.
yeah, I
No,
think you
can
would
you-
have to go back to school.
No, you gotta tell
So-
me the law. You can't be covered up.
So is that how it is?
Well, I want to know.
How it is? I do as I want to do until I'm told what the law is.
No, it's, if I'm not breaking the law, leave me alone.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Now, let's let that marinate. What do y'all think about that statement? I'm way. I want y'all to chime in. What do y'all think about that statement? Make sure we all in this together. What did y'all think about that statement I just made? If I'm not breaking the law, leave me alone. I thought that was being free in America.
All right.
You don't feel like that? I
Huh?
thought that was being free in America.
Exactly. Exactly. K. Stevenson. What about people who are doing it for religious purposes?
That's what it-
He just amazed that
Yeah, you have certain rights.
yeah,
Absolutely.
clean that up.
Obviously,
He he had to clean that up because he realized that what I said made a whole bunch of sense,
not,
and that's what he's supposed to be fighting for. And you know,
Thank God we do,
obviously not.
right?
I guess not when you have a camera or not, or
Okay,
it's
listen,
just a lot of.
you came and you got your content, right?
I didn't get my content because y'all kicked me out.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna record inside a public, it's a government building,
yeah.
okay? It's not the first time you've been here.
This is the first time.
It's the first time you've been here?
Oh, so y'all had this experience before and no response.
Watch
Okay.
this.
So who else has been here?
All kinds of people come here.
Yeah, but you're saying, oh,
Nah.
that's not the
He thought, no, you thought you was gonna get away. Nope,
first
come here.
time here. You're saying that as
I'm
a-
guessing this is not your first time here,
Why
right?
would you guess that though?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I've never seen you here, right?
You said you did.
All right.
I'm not wasting y'all wasting y'all time by being out here.
What you got your-
Yes, out of one black. I sub through
It's gonna get a lot.
survey raw,
I hope so.
surveyor
We look
raw.
forward to-
I appreciate that, Stevenson.
All right, man. Have a good day.
You too, man.
Later, man.
No,
Nah.
Little fist pump. Okay.
And the back, well, I said not this time because the last time when they violated me at the library, I didn't really know that the mental games they play on us. I didn't know how they did it. When they at the library, it was like good cop, bad cop. One came up super hostile and aggressive, and the other one didn't come at me the same type of way. And I'm thinking, we the same skin color. So, that's the thing about it. When it comes to this, it's not really about, it stops just being about skin color. It does go past that because, no matter what, they will violate you. If you're not with them, you're against them. This cop wanted to say something. We talked later on, but he was just telling me like, he knew I was right. I don't know, this guy was just mad for I don't know what was his problem. But he's a coward because he would stare at me. And then when I turn to look him in the eye, you know, he'll look away real quick. You know, I hate people like that. If you got beef, don't try to, you know, stand on your beef.
That's all right. And now, yep. And this her right here. And this bad attitude of the day is she can't do anything about it because she's upset. Because so we're gonna make her day uncomfortable because she wanted to ruin our day.
Look at her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did end up trying to follow through with this. I was calling, I'll talk about it after I finish, but I'll tell y'all the whole story.
I hope you know. Yeah. Hope you know. You'll stay all day. Matter of fact,
She does not need to work with the public though. I know that. All right. So y'all see her after saying all this about filming, now the problem was I didn't tell her that she's not allowed to do this. That's what I should have told her. I just told her it was illegal, but you know, and it's a crime if she deleted. Well, I don't even think I told her it was illegal for her to actually be doing this, but they're not actually supposed to be able to do this. And when I say do this, I mean record, especially from their personal phones. She came and moved the plant right here. But it's all good because if y'all want to hear the conversation between me and the cop, it's between that part.
yep. So I need to see the city clerk.
Arlene.
Hey, what's up,
I
John?
have a gentleman that wants to see you.
Are you the clerk?
I'm not the assistant to the city clerk. The city clerk may not be here.
Okay, I need the FOIA request. FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act. Request.
Look at her. Look at her. She went like this, like I'm the crazy one. Look at her. Look. What are you doing? What's wrong with you?
Have someone to ask that question.
Look at her, man. Oh my goodness. Something is definitely wrong with this girl.
Now, what is it that you're asking for?
A FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, I'm the she's like, oh shit, he knows what he's talking about.
Don't delete this video because I'm gonna request this.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, I'll call you.
If you delete that video, that's a crime. I hope you heard what I said.
Mhm.
So, yeah, let her know that her recording me is a crime if she deletes that video, because that is a public record now.
I don't know why toilet tissue is up there, but probably because she's full of shit.
Yeah, she was real mad.
I appreciate
boy.
that,
Real mad.
Karen.
You're going up? Please.
Yeah. So I think I did hold on. Look. Totally totally shut down.
This is federal building. It's not federal building. Fine. Actually, it's not a federal building. So she was loud and wrong.
She just hoping that go away, go away.
What are you?
I wouldn't even been in her face if she
Tell me,
wouldn't
man.
have came at me like
The way
she
people
did.
act when they don't know anything about what they're talking about, they're just acting crazy. I came in here, I wasn't bothering nobody. She wanted to yell, scream,
Yeah, I should have told her that.
all type of stuff.
Cool. Yeah, man, that's the only reason I could think the toilet tissue up there. But no, that's really for the machine.
Probably told her that I'm allowed to do this. But she doesn't like it.
Yup, trigger.
Just know that you can't report, you can't delete that, or it is a crime, a federal crime. That you're a state employee.
Should get a job.
I'm getting paid for this.
See, that's the thing. You should get a job, man. Get a real
Your
job.
job is real. Answering the phone, sitting in front. Okay, that's a real job. You don't look happy.
Now I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. She want to talk about me and talk about what I do for my livelihood, which is not even this. And then say what I'm doing is not real work, but what she's doing is the real job. And I point out that she doesn't look happy with what she's doing. And now I'm the bad guy. I definitely don't want that job if it makes you like that.
Okay.
Horrible. Horrible.
Get a real job. Oh, while I sit behind it, while I sit behind the desk and
460.
is this
Supervisors.
okay?
You know, I actually consider this community service, honestly.
That's City Hall upstairs, not.
You know, so yeah, I consider this community service.
Okay, appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, man.
Hey, if y'all watching this, if somebody want to start, if they haven't started a channel already, and they looking for a channel name, community service audits or something like that to deal with community service and bringing auditing together would be it'll be a good name, a good catchy name that people will be attracted to. Like when you leave comments, because what I would do when I first started out, when I used to comment on the videos, when people see my comment, they see my name, and then the name was interesting, so they would go, they would go check out my channel. So I think that's good when community service audits or something with community service would be a good name for somebody.
I'm waiting on the clerk to come back down.
On who?
The clerk, the city clerk. So cool.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I called this person several times. It was hard to get in touch with them. I emailed them. I didn't get a chance to get back up there, but they weren't answering the phone and things like that. And then, life catches up, so I couldn't get back up there in time, but they definitely made it hard to follow up with this.
We're gonna find out her name and all her information.
But it's not over because we still have the video. It still happened, and we still need to address it.
We'll find out. Because it's public information, because you work for the public.
All right. So I was just, hold Hold on, y'all got to catch her.
Yeah, you,
How can I help
Yeah.
you?
what makes you think I need her?
They call me over here to.
Now, see, I didn't know what time she was on, so
They say
that's
you're
why I
the
asked her, like, I asked her
Hey,
that.
that was earlier, yeah.
Oh, so you're right.
Oh, well, I requested a supervisor to, because I was having issues, they were kind of, kicking me out or forcing me to leave when I didn't do it.
You can record whatever you want.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, if
appreciate
you
it.
want to file a complaint, just go online. Everything's in the city of Aventura. Just click on police and there's instructions.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. Mhm.
That's how it should have been from the start.
Now, that's the response we want to get. The one we had before to enforce her feelings was different, but now it seems a lot better. Great recovery. He reminds me of,
That was over here is the area that they said the police lobby is where the victims were, through this door. That's where the victims were, not out here where I'm at right now, through that door. Yeah, yeah, Stevenson. She was, quick because, obviously I'm not doing anything wrong. And I have the right to do it. It should be short and quick. It shouldn't, they should let her know, well, he's allowed to do that. If you don't like it, sorry.
Building
Boy, you know. And I'm such a good person. I'm feeling bad for her that I'm making her feel like she is right now. Even after what she did to me.
But he doesn't want to talk to me.
Appreciate that, Blackbird.
yeah, I do. I'm not antagonizing you.
Right.
Let me ask y'all, do y'all think I was antagonizing her?
Oh, right.
Stop
Okay.
lying on me.
Okay. That's not an issue.
You lied on me before. Now you're lying again, trying to make it seem like I'm a bad person. I'm not. I didn't do nothing to you. For the people overhearing her conversation.
Yeah, she was trying to make me out to be something. No, it ain't do nothing to you.
Hey, grandma, let's go up.
All right. You talk to me about this.
But yeah, so now, right now I'm waiting on. I'm still waiting on the clerk to make the FOIA request. She didn't even know what I was talking about. The assistant to the city clerk didn't know what I was talking about when I asked for a FOIA request.
Mind your business.
You see how you tried to run out real quick? Hold on. Let me show y'all here.
I got one.
John, welcome, take care.
This is him.
I got one. You get one.
Look,
Mind your business.
he gonna try to run out real quick. That's the same guy that was sitting on the steps that seen me the entire time, seeing everything that happened, and then gonna talk to me, tell me to get a light. And this is me in the lobby. You see, this is where a victim would be. See, I can't see that victim. Nobody knows who that person is because the door should be closed.
Okay.
Actually, why aren't they creating privacy for that person? Anybody could be walking in. What if I didn't have a camera, but I'm just walking in and overhearing that situation, and I got a photographic memory? Come on.
Did you call us again?
No, I need to see the clerk.
Oh, okay. That's it.
They asked
You're
me,
allowed
did I
to
call,
videotape
did I
it.
call them again? Did I call them again? I didn't call them the first time, or the second time, or the third, or any time. She called them again and thought that by them keep coming out, I was gonna leave because of that.
Can't disturb the people that are coming in and out.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay.
buying them. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
Appreciate that, Fernando. Yeah, practice does make better. Yeah, so again, it's just, but this wasn't something that I thought that I was gonna have to be practicing on, because I didn't think I would be doing anything but just record, just minding my business. But obviously, that's not the case. It becomes way more than that. So yeah, you do got to practice, but I mean, I didn't know that you would have to do all this just to, exercise your right.
Here at the City Hall of Aventura, just bad about it.
Yeah. But yeah, let me stop the screen share. But yeah, y'all, I also want to show a video to show the psychology of the officers. They have a certain psychology about them that is, it gets pointed out. It gets pointed out right here.
Sleep comfort is all about pillow height. That's why we created the pancake pillow.
My bad, y'all.
Of that from.
So yeah, their psych ops, they always blame the person that they victimized. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you saw it firsthand with her and them, because I couldn't, she did all that to me, insulted me, was very condescending, tried to belittle me, tried to make me feel less of a person. All of that when I didn't do anything to her, and she was wrong about everything. What type of person? And then when the tables turn, and I just start, expressing detailing the situation out. She didn't like that. Now I'm antagonizing her because, she drew attention to herself. So yeah, I'm a mess with her a little bit. I didn't do nearly close to what she was doing to me. I feel like I was being nice. Like what did he say? Gilmore said, certain people, a lot of other people wouldn't have been as nice. But I don't usually go around insulting people. So that's not, I'm not proficient at that. So I guess I got to practice my insults better. Yeah, but I don't go around doing that. So hold on, y'all. So let's get into this. This is gonna be a video with Jeff Gray. If you don't know about Jeff Gray, with I think it's Honor Your Oath, the one that he holds up his sign saying, "God bless the homeless vets," and nobody wants the homeless vets to be blessed. So they call the police on him, and everybody tries to force him to leave because they don't want the homeless vets to be blessed, even though they fought for the country, that we live in today. Which is crazy. How can you be so upset with somebody saying God bless the homeless vets? Why does that upset you so much? But here we go. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. So Paul said, instead of taking responsibility for their feelings, they try and make you feel guilty for how they feel. Exactly. Like, what are you? They try to make you feel bad. Like no. They come at you all type of ways. When they're gonna insult you, they're gonna try to make you seem stupid. Then they're gonna try to make it seem like you don't know what you're talking about. They're gonna try to make it seem like you don't have a life. And they're gonna try to make it seem like, that like, like you just down bad and this you have nothing else. Come on, man. Come on. Just because y'all wrong.
Why? They say you got the customers for money and stuff like that. God bless them. Okay, well, they don't want you up front of the business. I don't want you up front of the business. Okay, well.
Yeah, this the last call I'm gonna do because I'm looking at the chat while we go over this too. And Blackbird asked me, may I ask you if you're new? I would consider myself new because I started this pretty much last year, at the end of last year sometime. I just went out there and started doing it. I didn't, I did watch videos before to get an idea, but I just got out there.
That's not how it.
Thank you, Karen.
No. I'll give you 5 seconds. They just don't want you up there anymore. Okay. So, no, they don't have the authority to come up here. They said you're asking for money and stuff like that. What's up? Hearsay. Huh? It's hearsay. That I say I'm not asking for money. Okay, well, they said you're up front. So can you just go somewhere else? Why? Because I'm not going somewhere. I'll put in my heart to stand right here. I'm staying right here. Okay, but they don't want you blocking the sidewalk and stuff. I'm not blocking the sidewalk. Okay, give your ID on you? I don't have any ID on me. Okay, if I do, I don't want to give it to you anymore. All right, well, you need to just move along. That's all they want you to do. Nope, not happening. Why? Because I'm just saying God bless someone's house. Okay, yeah, you have the right to do that. They just don't want you in front of your business. I mean, is there a reason why you're up here? God put in my heart.
He just told you.
Is there a reason why you're in front of this business? God put in my heart.
He just told you. They don't like that reason. If they don't like the reason, they just gonna keep asking you over and over again. He said, God put it in my heart to stand here. Why are you here? God put it in my heart to stand here. Why are you here? God put it in my heart to stand here.
Well, is there a reason why you're in front of this business? Not particularly this business. I'm just on the public sidewalk. Okay, and you're not asking for money? I am not asking. Okay, your sign doesn't say it, so I don't know.
So you don't know.
I mean, have you asked anybody for money? I mean, I'll tell you, my name is Jeff. What's your name? Officer Galt. Officer what? Galt.
One thing I noticed is that
Galt. G-A-O-T.
never mind.
And you haven't asked for money?
The algorithm is going up. Y'all like the video. Like the video.
Can you get your first and last name real quick? My first name is Jeff, and I'm
That was nice enough. He didn't even have to say that.
I mean, you're making this more complicated than it has to be. No, I'm not. I'm standing here in the sidewalk saying God bless someone's veteran. I know, but you causing, are you talking to any of these customers? Yeah, I'm saying God bless someone's veterans. Okay, well, if they don't want you talking to them, you can't keep saying the thing.
Look at him. He's just,
Okay, well, they just want you to move along, so can you go ahead? Move along for you?
they just want to move along. So can you just move along for me? And he kept just trying to find ways to appease their feelings and trample on his rights.
I'm just gonna say that God put in my heart to be here. I'm just gonna. I think you guys have other things. Every agency has body camera. Next recording. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay here, say God bless all the veterans. I'm not hurting anybody, I'm not causing anybody any trouble. I'm just saying God bless all the veterans. Okay, if he doesn't like it, I'm on the public sidewalk, he doesn't have any authority. Okay, well, you can't be asking for money and stuff like that. I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying that's what they told us. Even if I was asking.
Useless
Okay, well, that's.
Useless directives. Oh, you can't be asking. I'm not asking for money. You can't be asking for money. I'm not asking for money. You can't be asking for money. I'm not asking for money. You can't be asking for money. I'm not asking for money. Like, it's so crazy, but y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. Even if he was asking for money, that's not illegal.
That's the same thing. So. All right, well, I'm getting. Well, I'm not done with this.
Exactly. I'm not done with you yet. What are you talking about?
Yeah. You guys go, yeah, yes, sir. Hey, you can ask him for money. Yeah. He's just saying, he's doing his political God's South America stuff. He's on his public side of the just doing a week. You don't know him?
One of my employees has a board at another location. I've never seen it before here. I've had a couple of customers. He asked me to go on the street and do that. I tried to talk to him, like, hey,
He's saying, he's on his public side of he's not asking people for money. He's saying,
when I went out there, he was on our side of the side.
Our sidewalk,
he just stays on.
our sidewalk, our side of the sidewalk. What are you talking about?
I'd rather he did.
He's recording me, I'm recording, this is gonna be. I mean. They're going to identify us, so.
That's not,
Right, Stevenson.
Customers there.
It's gotten to that point.
I didn't want to waste your time with this, like.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Maybe the VA, like that's what you're scouting out.
Mike, can you start over here? 143 House Street, road number. This dude's being, yeah, he held a sign saying, "Oh, West America, but it's not in the front, so saying you have the right to record me, stuff like that." Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Again, I don't want to waste your time.
You didn't want to waste your time because you called them.
You know anyone in here? Like, no. So you're not really.
Hey, what's up, guy?
Try.
I appreciate it.
One of those, like a report you asking you to say it's constitutional right to stand there or something like that.
Stuff like that. Hold on. Y'all see how he breezed by that and stuff like that. He has a constitutional right and stuff like that. What?
I wouldn't say it's and I checked the sign, like signs that need to do one. Both sides say God bless America. So actually, if he's saying homeless vets, like I'm part of the veteran, so if you want to talk about that, we can talk about that. So I'll see what we can do in a couple of days. Hopefully, you can be wrong.
That's I mean, even the woman was talking about like trespassing, which he was.
Now, and now,
I don't think it'd be in trouble or I just don't want my customers to be. That makes sense. Yeah, she's scared to leave. Is that what you're saying?
I'll try to get it around. But I'm not gonna go. You can answer. Yes.
Now they try to use the oh, she's scared. Scared of what? The man said, "God bless the homeless vet."
No. Change my mind about that. I will change my mind. Okay. That's my eye and my eye. Yeah. Well, can you just move on? That's all I want you to do. I'm not moving on. Yeah, I put in my heart to stand here and say this, and it's from the stand. Okay. Well, they don't want you in front of their business. If you were on their sidewalk? I've been. No,
What is their
I'm not
sidewalk?
answering for the questions. I've been on their property.
He talking about these over here. Under this on there. I still believe that's public. I'm not 100% sure, but I still think that's public. Y'all tell me if that's still public. I think it is. I don't think they can I don't think they can own any part of the sidewalk. I think what they own stops at the glass window and inside the restaurant.
Yeah, he said you were on the property. On the property. Not on the property. If this is on their way to be lying about that. He wouldn't lie about it, but he might be incorrect or misinformed about where his property line against that. Okay, so it's my word against his. It's just hearsay. I've been standing right here the whole time. So God bless him. Okay.
Okay.
They move just move along. Move along.
All right. So I'm not going. We're gonna go to this part because y'all already know how it's gonna go. I want y'all to see. I want y'all to see
24th, 2021.
this part.
And the time is 7:03 p.m. The location of this interview is the command staff conference room at the New Smyrna Beach Police Department. Presently being interviewed is Sergeant Richard Kirkland. I am Lieutenant Mark Severance with the New Smyrna Beach Police Department. Are you aware this interview is being recorded?
I am.
As a Florida law enforcement officer in the Republic of the State of Florida, I'm empowered to take sworn statements. At this time, I'd ask you to raise your right hand to be sworn, please. You solemnly swear or affirm that the statement you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
You are being interviewed as a witness to an internal affairs investigation. Since you are not the focus of the investigation, neither union representation or an attorney need be present to represent you. You are required to answer all questions pertaining to your actions or knowledge obtained while an employee of the City of New Smyrna Beach Police Department. Failure to answer any questions may subject you to departmental charges. If any time during this interview you feel that your answers might result
Hey,
in
what's up,
disciplinary action
Excalibur?
being taken against you, so advise me and the interview will be stopped until representation is obtained. You understand that?
I do.
Okay. So on December 14th, there was a CAD call to respond to 143 Canal Street in reference to a suspicious person. Are you familiar with that call?
I am.
Were you working as a Bravo shift supervisor that evening?
I was.
So you were filling in for another supervisor?
Yes, I
correct?
was on overtime. Correct.
Can you recall the details or circumstances of that suspicious person call?
Yes, I do.
What were they?
The suspicious person call came out, was dispatched a call about a male bothering customers and asking for money. I don't know how far you want to go responds, and that's the circumstance.
Okay.
That's all we know as far as the call goes.
Okay, so to you, it was pretty nondescript, just a person
Correct.
bothering customers.
Yes.
Okay. Were you ever contacted by Officer Galt or Officer Beatty during the time frame of this call? for service?
Excalibur, man.
I was contacted by Officer Beatty after the call for service, not during it. The subject had already left the scene by the time he called me, but yes.
Okay, so you had no knowledge of what was going on at the scene at the time when either Officer Galt was there or Officer Beatty was there.
Correct. Yeah, I thought it was just a suspicious person. They were gonna move along.
Okay. So you said Officer Beatty calls you, you believe at the end of his interaction
Correct.
with this person.
Yes.
Yeah. So before
Okay, can you describe the phone
I let him
conversation that
talk,
you had with
I
Officer
don't even
Beatty?
need to say nothing.
Yeah, he said that he was just calling to inform me about what happened. He said that he was handling a panhandler call. So obviously immediately I was kind of thinking, what do you mean by panhandler call? He says that the subject was standing on city property and had a sign that said, God bless homeless veterans. He said that the male was refusing to identify himself and that he had a firearm and then but he did have a valid concealed weapons permit. I asked him, what happened. He explains to me that basically
All right, I put the speed up a little bit faster. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if it's going too fast for y'all. I usually watch videos at 2x the speed. So it's like, for me, it's like he talking real slow.
Galt detained the male with handcuffs. They disarmed him and confirmed that he had a valid concealed weapons permit, and that in doing so, they were able to identify him and ultimately they let him go. I asked Beatty why he was detained, and he told me that he was detained because he was refusing to identify himself. And I said, well, for what crime are you investigating? And he said that he was investigating panhandling. And he said, it's against city ordinance. I told him, no, it's not against city ordinance. And he said, well, it's against state statute as well. And I said, it's not against state statute. And I told him, I said, that from what you're telling me, it sounds like you had no legal authority to seize the gentleman or his firearm.
Excellent. That was excellent, Sergeant.
Disarmed him, even run his name. Doesn't sound like there's anything wrong.
What was Beatty's reaction to that on the phone?
He seemed kind of like taken back, like kind of shocked. Like he didn't, I don't think he grasped that.
Yeah, you know he messed up.
That it was not illegal. I think he truly thought it was illegal and was kind of stammering for a second. And then at one point hold on one second, let me refer to the report here. I forget, he did say something. He did try to tell me that that he didn't tell him about the concealed weapons permit at the same time he told him about the gun. So he was basically trying to paint the picture that, well, he told me he had a gun, so I was just going to seize the gun and make it more of an officer safety thing. And I told him that still does not work. If you don't have a crime to investigate, you can't seize the person.
Right.
It ultimately turned out the guy did tell him he had a concealed weapons permit.
Okay, are you aware of the duration of this interaction call?
Well, the call came out at 19:27 hours, and I got the phone call at 19:57. So literally right at a half hour.
Okay.
From the time dispatch to the time BD's calling me. So I would say shorter, maybe 20 minutes. 25 minutes.
Okay. Obviously, since you weren't there, you don't have a lot of details as to what happened based on the phone call that you got from Beatty, other than what he told you. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, obviously, after the fact, I met with you, you being the supervisor that night, and asked you to conduct a supervisory inquiry. That was on the following day, December 15th. And you entered your findings into an incident summary and submitted it for further review. Can you provide a synopsis of the key findings in that document and walk us through what happened?
Sure. So the ultimate findings are that the gentleman was not committing a crime, or was not committing a crime. He was completely within his rights. He was on a public sidewalk. He was simply holding a sign saying "God bless someone's fence." Wasn't doing anything illegal or suspicious for that matter. They did not have a right to detain him, to seize him, his property, or anything. That was my ultimate findings. The way I got to those findings is I reviewed all the video that was reported by the subject and posted to social media. I've also reviewed the both body worn cameras from Officer Galt and Officer Beatty. Essentially, Officer Galt gets on scene first. He goes to make contact with the male. He tries to summon the male over to him. The male didn't really appear to respond. So he approaches the male and they have a brief interchange where Officer Galt basically tries to get him to move along and tries to give him some, the male challenges him and says, "I don't have to move along." I don't know if you want me to get into exact words and stuff, or you just want me to kind of give the.
No, did Officer Galt make contact with the business owner or the manager?
Not until after he had this, verbal kind of back and forth with the subject. I believe that he thought he was just going to walk up to the subject and ask him to move along, as we do on a lot of calls. And if the guy doesn't have a problem with it, moves along, no harm, no foul.
Yeah. So on a lot of calls, most people don't know their rights. So they just move right along because they think we're right. So they just listen to us and, it's usually not a big deal.
Well, this case, the gentleman says, "I have a right to be here. I'm not going to." So you can see Galt kind of is taken back a little bit. And he said, "Okay, well, let me go in and talk to the manager." So he does go in and talk to the bar staff. He tells him, the guy says that
Stevenson is absolutely.
He's not going to move and that, he's on the sidewalk. I believe the bar manager tells him, "Well, he was on our property." And,
So there was some dispute over what was their property, what was public property.
correct. It appeared from watching the video that the bar manager, the reporting party, I believe his name is Axel, thought that the entire sidewalk belonged to.
He didn't think that.
It clearly doesn't belong to the sidewalk, and the subject was actually standing on the farthest away on the sidewalk. He could be from the business. He was literally out by where the parallel park is.
Okay, let's back up for a minute. In your review of the body worn camera videos and the YouTube video, primarily the YouTube video before our officers arrived, did you see the RP Axel speak with this subject?
Yes, he initially tried to handle this incident himself. He goes out and, asks him to move along, tells him he can't be there. And of course, the gentleman says that he can. He does have the right to be there. He's on a public sidewalk. The Axel guy kind of challenged him and says, "No, this is our sidewalk." So, "No, it's not." And basically, when he meets the resistance, Axel says, "Well, fine, I'll just have to call the police." And so he goes back in the bar.
Okay, that brings us back to where we're at. And so Officer Galt talks to Axel inside the bar. And then what happens?
He also called for Officer Beatty to respond as backup. And he basically, the end of the conversation is, "Well, I'm just gonna have to wait for my backup to get here." So he goes back outside. He again confronts the guy and Officer Beatty comes up on scene. You can see Officer Beatty pull in, he parks across the street on a perpendicular road there. And
so when Officer Beatty arrives, what does Officer Galt do first?
he walks over to Beatty's car and tells him, let's see here. But they said, "Give me 1 second." Sorry.
This is I can't believe how honest this sergeant is. He still try to kind of protect his officer, but he's being incredibly honest. I wouldn't have expected this.
Officer Beatty pulls on scene. Galt explains that
He
he's
probably told him, "Boy, you an
after
idiot."
walking up to the subject, that the subject saying it's his constitutional right to be stand where he's standing. If the manager of the business says one of his waitresses was afraid to go outside, and I guess wait on the tables there's a couple tables outside. So that was literally what Galt told him.
Okay.
So some waitress fake scared and say,
So then Beatty kind of takes over the call at this point. He makes contact with the guy and does acknowledge and says that he's on a public sidewalk, but the business said that he was begging for money. Beatty had not made contact with the RP. He's just going off at this point of what was said in the CAD call from dispatch. So he said that panhandling is against the law and he can't be panhandling out there. The gentleman says that he wasn't panhandling and that he was within his rights to be there. And
yes, continue.
Okay. So ultimately, the guy or Beatty tells the guy that he can't be there and that he needs his name and information. The guy says he's not going to identify himself. They go back and forth a few times. Beatty basically tells him, threatens him that he's going to go to jail if he doesn't give him his identification because he's there investigating a crime to which he claims the business started the complaint. So the male, I think, could see that he was going to be put into handcuffs. So he alerts the officers that, or at least he perceived he was going to be in handcuffs, I should say. He alerts the officers that he is armed and that he lawfully armed, he has a concealed weapons permit. He kind of puts his arms out in front of him. Okay. Officer Beatty, and he makes an exaggerated movement. He says, "Here's my hands out here." And Officer Beatty goes to, take the gun out of his pocket. I think that the male maybe felt a little uncomfortable with the officers taking the gun out of his pocket with his hands just being there.
Right.
So he actually suggests, you guys, maybe I should be put in handcuffs. So then you see Officer Galt, that's when he comes in and puts the guy in handcuffs while he's retrieving the firearm, and then ultimately searches the male, locates, I believe, some magazines in the pocket, and that's what. The male, during the detention and search says, I do not consent to any searches or seizures. He's told them several times that, he's within his rights and this is a violation of his right. He was, basically broadcasting that.
So after they handcuff him in front of the New Smyrna Brewery there, what happens?
Well, I forgot to note, as they were going to handcuff him, Officer B takes his sign out of his hand and puts it
Okay,
on the pole. I don't know if that really is a note, but ultimately they walk him across the street to where Officer B parked his patrol car. Officer B is explaining to him that this is why, that's the reason as to why he's getting arrested, or why he's been detained, I should say, not arrested.
Right.
And the guy says, well, since you have my firearm, I'll go ahead and let you get my concealed weapons permit. And he tells him it's in my wallet, in my pocket. He directs BD to the wallet and ultimately gets his concealed weapons permit. He uses that to identify him by name and date of birth. He runs him on teletype and confirms that he's not wanted. He doesn't run the concealed weapons permit number to verify that it's valid.
Okay.
But he doesn't verify that the male is not wanted. So he uses that to say, okay, now, since you've identified yourself, I'm going to let you go, basically. That's when they unsecure him. He actually hands him his firearm back and tells him to put it in his pocket. Again, you can see the subject's kind of uncomfortable with that, but ultimately he does take the gun, put it in his pocket, and again, pronounces his hand movement, saying, I think he put up on the police force, the man right here. And then BD went to make contact with the business.
Okay. So BD goes into the business and makes contact with the manager, Axel.
So violated him, got his ID finally, because that's their drug. They took a hit of that ID and realized he didn't have anything to be kidnapped for. And then they said, oh, well, here you go. Here's your gun and everything, and you're good. Even though you knew you were good from the start, we didn't believe you. And we didn't want to investigate to find out. And we didn't come here to enforce the law. Don't you get that? We came here to enforce their feelings.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you describe that interaction?
But yeah, Blackberry, he didn't lie one bit for them. And he's smart.
Yeah, you report.
This is bad. He know they idiots.
So yeah, BD asked if he was immediately asked the manager, was the male seen asking for money? And the bar manager said, no, I don't think he was asking for money, but he was reiterates that one of his waitresses was nervous to outside or whatever.
Exactly.
He then says immediately that he's going to call Sergeant me to kind of, I guess, run it by me. But if he was not on their property, not asking for money, there wasn't much that he could do. He could have made him leave. So he kind of was telling the guy, if he's not asking for money, then we have no law violation. I can't make him move along or anything.
Okay.
In his mind, is what I was thinking.
So if you're not doing anything wrong, they try to get your ID to see if you did anything wrong so they can. It's crazy.
Then that's when Officer B leaves and goes back to the car. I forgot to mention, actually, let me go back.
Okay.
When they escorted him over to the car, the guy did make a statement. He said, I just want to put you guys on notice that you're violating my constitutional rights and that I would proceed, or if I were you, I would proceed with caution from here forward, something to those lines. And BD, kind of argues with him and tells him, no, we're not violating your rights because you were panhandling.
Okay.
And so, so ultimately, BD comes back over and the guy's already unhandcuffed as before. He's got his gun. He tells him, since you weren't panhandling and asking for money, and I already identified you, basically that he wasn't going to be detained any further. The guy asked if he was free to leave. He originally asked for BD. He said he would go get him a car and goes in the car. And that's actually when BD calls me. And the subject, I think, was kind of almost maybe tired of waiting. And he asked Officer Galt for what their names were.
Right.
And then he just says, I don't need a card. I'll just leave. And then he walks away.
Okay, going back to Officer Galt, if I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
If Officer Galt had not called Officer Beatty to come to the scene, what do you think would have happened?
It appeared to me that Officer Galt kind of knew he was in over his head. I don't think he really knew how to proceed. That's why he called for backup. I think he was relying on a more senior officer to kind of guide him on what to do. If he did not do that, I would like to think that he would have called me and or the corporal, one or the other. Actually, there was no corporal working that night. So call me for advice on how to proceed. I don't see Officer Galt going to the extent that Officer B did on his own. He clearly had that opportunity several times. He went back out of business, I think, twice. He wasn't forcing the issue at all.
Did he talk to any customers outside about what was going
So basically he's saying one of them hyped the other one up.
on? Do you recall?
Yeah, there was one customer that was said he had been out there the whole time. And I think he asked him,
All right.
100% sure, but I think he
I
asked him if he
made-
asked for money, and the guy said no.
You're saying it's great mod if you like. All right, thank you, Karen.
Nothing that really jumps out. Yeah,
All right, Steve, I'll make you the mod.
Do you? Let me back up here. Did Officer Galt ever mention anything about panhandling? Do you recall that? At the beginning of his interaction with the subject?
What's up, ex bootlicker? Hey, ex bootlicker, what is like your first name or something, man? I can't keep saying ex bootlicker. I gotta use the name.
Tells Officer Galt that he's on the public sidewalk and is just saying, God bless the homeless vets. Galt tells him that he cannot stand in the same place and say the same thing over and over. Then goes on to tell him that he cannot.
You can't stand in the same place and say the same thing over and over. What? Imagine being America, home of the free, a land of the free and home of the brave, and they tell you you can't stand in one spot and say the same thing over and over again. Come on.
Beg for money because it's against city ordinance.
Okay.
The male told Galt that he was not begging for money and that it would still be illegal because that city ordinance would be unconstitutional.
You too, Karen.
Okay, we've already talked about Officer Beatty and the phone call part that happened. Do you feel that Officer Beatty
X,
and Officer
okay,
Galt
yeah, I call you X.
believe that panhandling was currently a city ordinance?
Absolutely. They both said it non-prompted on their body worn cameras at separate times. I don't know where they would get that impression or where they may have learned that, but they definitely were under the impression that they did have legal authority to seize them based on that assumption. I don't think either one of them did anything intentionally wrong. I think that they were more or less ignorant that the fact that is that panhandling is just not illegal. We can't detain based on that. So I think
Pure ignorance. That's all they go. They go off for ignorance, arrogance, and ego.
they were just operating on bad assumptions.
Okay, do you think that Officer Beatty made the decision to detain this subject because of his refusal to identify himself?
Yes, I think that Officer Beatty thought that he had the legal right to identify him because he was, in his mind, investigating a crime. And that's why he was ultimately going to detain him. It kind of took a weird turn because Beatty went for the gun immediately instead of going for handcuffs immediately. And then the male ultimately asked to be handcuffed.
Right.
So it was, but I do think that he was absolutely going down that path. That's what he was going to do.
Okay, can you summarize the policy violation? You proffered a couple of policy violations. The one, can you read that from the record there?
The group 2M, violation of rules, orders, etc., issued by the city commission. It's basically he violated our rules and policies and procedures, regulations by openly going against what he did for preliminary and follow-up investigations.
Can y'all believe how honest this sergeant is? I can't, like, he really telling the truth. Like they went against this, they did this wrong. They should have called me. They like, man.
He basically detained someone without the legal authority to do so. So clearly in violation of that policy. As far as Officer Galt, I do think that he also had a duty to recognize that what was going on was not okay. But again, I think he was naive and ignorant to the fact that panhandling is not against the law, and we cannot force a panhandling complaint by to detain people. So I think that they were operating under the impression that what they were doing was correct. But we're just
okay. I'm just going to ask you straight. Are you of the opinion that Officer Beatty and Officer Galt violated this subject's civil rights based on your review of the video evidence?
Yes, absolutely. Again, I don't think it was intentional or malicious. I think that they thought what they were doing was right, and they just something about it.
Okay. Do you have anything further you'd like to add?
Yeah, he's saying that, but I know what he's saying in his mind is these guys are idiots, and I wish they wouldn't have put me in this situation, but I'm not gonna lie for them. I'm telling the truth. I'm gonna do my best to, make it seem like they're just ignorant and not just egomaniacs out there. But I know he was upset about them and let them have it.
Add to this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, this concludes the interview. As this investigation is continuing, you are ordered not to discuss any portion of this investigation except with legal counsel or your personal representative. Any request to deviate from this instruction must be directed to your commanding officer. Do you understand that?
I do.
The time is 7:28, and I'm going to terminate the recording at this time.
Okay, so this is one of the officers that was on the scene. Then we're gonna have the next one on the scene. I believe this is the first one that was on the scene. But let's check the comments real quick. kid killed and wreck above the house, then hang around sad. Jelmore, what you talking about? X said he out there smoking. All right. Blackbird and get away with it because they didn't know. Yeah, I think that's what he was trying to. I don't even think he was trying to. I think he actually believes it, and it's probably true. They thought they would. Again, that we know that they run off ignorance. The problem is that they run off ignorance and ego. So even if they're wrong or they don't know, their ego won't allow them to do the right thing. I'm downstairs. Smoking, can't get out wheelchair. Blackbird, oh man. Okay. Sometimes I think it's higher ranks setting the law and throwing the lower ones under the bus when it goes wrong. That could be very true because we're gonna listen to this.
New Smyrna Beach Police Department, Office of Professional Standards.
You left for work, but kid was killed while I left earlier. Oh man. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Administration of oath and perjury warning. IA number 2021-006. Officer Brett Galt, ID number 1816. I'm Lieutenant Mark Servants with the New Smyrna Beach Police Department. Today's date is Friday, December 31st, 2021, and the current time is 17:34 hours.
I love this.
The location of this interview is the Office of
This
Professional Standards
interviewer.
conference room located at the New Smyrna Beach Police Department.
He's funny.
Officer Galt declined to have union representation or legal counsel present for this interview. Officer Galt, are you aware that this interview is being recorded? Yes. I'm conducting an official administrative investigation concerning City of New Smyrna Beach policies and procedures, Section X, Group 2M, Group 2, Section M, violating the rules, orders, and policies issued and adopted by the City Commission, City Manager, and/or Department Head. Specifically, Policy and Procedure Directive 15-2, Preliminary and Follow-up Investigations, Section 15.2.7, which talks about investigative detentions. As a Florida law enforcement officer in no republic of the state of Florida, I'm empowered to take sworn statements. At this time, I would ask you to raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the statement you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but?
Yeah, it's on 1.5 the speed, Jelmore. That's why. That's why it sounds like it's going so fast.
Given by witness under oath will constitute perjury, which is a third-degree felony, according to Section 837.02 Florida statute. Do you understand that if you knowingly
Tight.
make material misstatements of fact to me during this investigation,
He
you will
is
have committed the
tight.
crime of perjury? I do. Okay, I'm going to sign this and I'm going to have you sign it.
That boy nervous.
You can sign it there and date it at the bottom.
It's all good, Jelmore.
Thank you. Advisement of rights for disciplinary.
Hey, everybody, let me know if it's going too fast. Like, I want you to still be able to catch what he's saying.
Interview, otherwise called the Garrity warning. I wish to advise you that you're being questioned as part of an official investigation of the New Smyrna Beach Police Department. You will be asked questions specifically directed and narrowly related to the performance of your official duties or fitness for office. You are entitled to all rights and privileges guaranteed by the laws and the Constitution of this state and the Constitution of the United States, including the right not to be compelled to incriminate yourself. I further wish to advise you that if you refuse to testify or to answer questions relating to the performance of your official duties or fitness for duty.
Yeah, he is nervous. Man, I don't want to use certain words because you know how YouTube is, but he effed up.
It will be considered an act of insubordination and a violation
He
of
know
the
he
directive
effed
by
up.
superior or competent authority. If you do answer, neither your statements nor any information or evidence which is gained by reason of such statements can be used against you in any subsequent criminal proceeding, except for perjury or obstruction of justice charges. However, these statements may be used against you in relation to the subsequent department charges. The aforementioned advisement of rights is not the warning in criminal cases under the Miranda decision. As mentioned, Miranda has no application in a disciplinary interview. Understand? Sure. Okay. Sign, date, and I'll put the location there.
Yeah, too slow can lose concentration. Yeah, I put it fast like that because I be needing them to speed it up. But yeah, he is definitely nervous. And look how hard he got that right hand clenched.
Please state your name, rank, and current duty assignment. Officer Brett.
Right. Hey, throughout this interview, check out the right hand.
Patrol officer,
On what shift do you work?
Robert Ships.
Have you reviewed the USB drive files, documents, recorded interviews, YouTube videos, BWC videos, the central dispatch radio and phone calls I provided you on Monday, December 27th, 2021? Yes, sir. Okay, before we go on, I'd like to say that obviously everything that on this particular incident was captured either on the subject's video, YouTube videos that have been posted, as well as your BWC and Officer Beatty's BWC. So, you know, as we talk about these questions and stuff, you know, if you say something that isn't exactly what you said on the video, that's not an issue. The issue, you know, we want to get to the core of it, right? Right. Okay. Okay, at approximately 1927 hours on Tuesday, December 14th, 2021, were you dispatched to a call for service identified as a suspicious person, call number P2134-82050 at the New Smyrna Brewery located at 143 Canal Street? Yes. Did you read the call notes while en route to the call?
Yes.
What did they tell you?
The comments started out saying that there was a male dressed in all black, black shirt, black jacket. And originally he was asking for money from people inside there. And that's all I read because I was right around the corner from the scene. So specifies what was going on too.
Okay. So what crime were you intending to investigate there?
Well, at that point, they said that he was at or in the business asking for money, and the business owner just wanted him to be moved along. And they wanted him to have
Blackbird.
him, but at that point, he was in the business asking for money. As far as I know, he was in that point.
Okay, do they call that panhandling or asking for money is what it said in the call notes?
Yes.
Is panhandling a crime or a city ordinance violation?
It's not. That's the ordinance violation.
Okay. Upon your arrival on scene, what did you observe?
A black male or not a white male dressed in all black.
No, bet that
Upon your
up.
arrival on scene, what did you observe?
A black male.
That tell you a lot. That tell you a lot right there.
It's not. That's the ordinance violation.
Okay. Upon your arrival on scene, what did you observe?
A black male or not a white male dressed in all black, standing on the sidewalk behind the car, holding a sign and walking back and forth up and down the sidewalk.
Okay.
So, you know, upon the scene, what did you see? A black male? You wow.
When you made contact with, we'll call him Mr. Gray because we ultimately did identify him during the encounter. Can you describe the interaction you had with him?
We know what's on his mind.
I was just trying to be like people like I can. Most callers are trying to get to know who he was, what his purpose was there. He was really blunt, not much not like asking or answering my just questions, just normal questions I had. Just what were you doing there? Is there a purpose you're up here? Stuff like that. He was just
He answered every single one of those questions.
keeping to himself at that point.
Okay. What did he tell you he was doing?
That he was just whatever the sign was like, God bless the homeless vets. He was just trying to make people aware that God needs to bless the homeless vets.
Okay. He just kept
Oh, so he did tell you.
Where was he at when you first encountered him?
on the sidewalk by the car by the light post.
By the curb?
Yeah.
Where the car's parked? Okay. Why did you ask Mr. Gray to move along or leave the area?
Not at all.
Initially saying that he was asking his customers for money. He just didn't want him up front of his business.
Okay. What was Mr. Gray's response?
He said he wasn't going to move. He said he has the right to be there. He didn't feel like moving along.
Okay. Was he holding a sign that said God bless the homeless vets?
Yes.
Why did you ask Mr. Gray for identification or to otherwise identify himself?
It's usually on calls that we go to, we try to identify everyone. I was trying to get to know who he was. Just so I can identify him and say that I'm in contact with this man. And
The ID crack.
this was this and this. So I just wanted him to move along at that point.
So what did Mr. Gray tell you?
That he was not going to provide ID.
Did he tell you anything about himself?
He said his first name was Jeff.
Okay. Was there any dispute over what was public property or sidewalk or what was owned by the business?
Further down the investigation, the business owner was not aware of what his boundaries were for the sidewalk. We later found that out.
Okay.
He wasn't aware of what like the line was.
Who wasn't aware?
No business
Check out that right hand.
owner.
Okay. So that kind of leads to my next question. At this location, did you know what was public property and what was business property? Roughly.
Yeah, I can imagine that. And certain feet off the curb is still owned by the city due to being public road, and then the public sidewalk, obviously, and then whatever the business had the benches were, I was assuming was the business
Okay.
property.
All right.
Assuming.
Why did you tell Mr. Gray that asking for money is technically against city ordinance?
At that point about panhandling was a city ordinance violation.
Okay, so it was your belief that it was?
Yes, sir.
Where did you get that?
I thought that early on in training that we had a call and there was people asking for money and
That in this guy doing the interview is asking some good questions, and it's so funny because they can't escape it. You can't escape the questions like they would do with us. For us, they just won't answer the question. When they know here, you got to answer.
I thought that we looked up a city ordinance violation that was panhandling.
And it's not a city ordinance violation, it's a state statute actually, so.
For, what's the state statute refer to?
Like if you're blocking, like stepping out in traffic, blocking people's right to move.
So it's a 316 violation for some type of impediment of traffic, right? If you're
Traffic,
soliciting or entering traffic patterns, right? That wasn't the case here, was it? Okay. You speak to the reporting party inside the business. So describe your conversation with him.
I was like, hey, just give me a rundown what's going on. He initially was like, oh, he was up talking to people at the table, asking them for money, and then when my wages went out, he went on to say that he was harassing her, and he wouldn't go into detail of that, and the waitress didn't want to go into detail about that either.
Okay.
So at that point, I went back out.
And you re-engage Mr. Gray.
You see it?
I asked him about that.
Right. So at this point in your investigation, did you have any reasonable or articulable suspicion that Mr. Gray committed, was committing, or was about to commit a crime or a violation of city ordinance?
At that point, I believed he might have been asking people for money.
What?
To answer my questions. So that's why I went back out and re-engaged with him. I thought we had something maybe stirring up.
So at this point, you're
So he just admit to fishing just now. That's him admitting to fishing. Now he's trying to, he's fishing for something now.
you're still thinking panhandling is a city ordinance violation, and you're acting on that assumption to try to continue the investigation. Okay. Who did you call on the phone when you went inside the business?
I called Officer.
And what did you tell him?
I said that, hey, we have the business owner is stating that this is what's going on and the mail is not
Yeah, check out that right hand, man.
answering any questions. And at that point,
I better
going for maybe senior
quit
officer
smogging.
to try to help me work through the situation.
Okay.
Jasmine, I'm Allie.
Oh.
Two sort of friends who love to hit the open road. Watch Discovery Drive.
So you told him some of the details of what's happening.
I told him what the business owner just told me, and that at this point, I just need someone else to kind of hear the stories and work through it and see what we have.
Okay, so when Officer Beatty arrived, did you go meet him?
I did, yes. I had gave him a rundown of what was going on and what the business owner told me and what the mail was actively doing at that point.
Which was
Okay, can you
the
describe
same
Officer
thing he
Beatty's
was doing
initial
when he got
contact with
there.
Mr. Gray?
He was asking him the kind of same questions I was, kind of starting to open the process. And then when he didn't want to identify himself, that's when he kind of went, instead of talking to the business owner, he kind of went hands-on with Mr. Gray.
Mhm.
And at that point,
Look at this snake. He gonna try to throw his partner under the bus.
I usually, like when we investigate other crimes and stuff like that, we listen to both sides of the stories, come back, talk to each other, and
That
I don't
boy
know where that
dirty.
happened, maybe because he was frustrated with him.
Do you think that would have been a more prudent course of action to continue the investigation and figure out what's going on?
I think yes.
Did you hear Officer Beatty tell Mr. Gray that if he didn't identify himself, he was going to go to jail?
I did, yes.
Okay. Okay, I want to go over the policy and procedure directive. I know you probably read it. I did want to bring your attention that, the record shows that you read that on Power DF on April 28th of 2021, because that's when you read it and signed it. The directive itself, in the section that I already enumerated, that talked about investigative detention.
Yeah. Oh, Blackbird. Yeah, it is. It's really everybody for themselves at this point, because now he trying to say, oh well, I didn't put hands on him. that was Buddy over there. He just came there. I don't know what would make him put hands on him and tell him that, but that's horrible. Then to say, but what I meant to say is, what's not gonna work is them saying, oh well, we didn't know because Jeff said you're violating my rights. He told them.
Says an officer is permitted to stop and briefly detain a person for investigative purposes if the officer has a reasonable suspicion supported by articulable facts that criminal activity may be afoot, even if the officer lacks probable cause. Such encounters must be evaluated by considering the totality of the circumstances. Investigative detention should last no longer than is necessary to effectuate the purpose of the stop. The investigative methods employed should be the least intrusive, reasonably available to verify or dispel the officer's suspicion in a short period of time. Any investigative detention must conform to current law. Current law, that governs it in the state of Florida is Florida statute 901.151. Are you aware of that? Stop and frisk statute. It's referenced as a reference point in this directive under the attachment section that basically says the same thing. You understand that directive? I do. Okay. So with that in mind, and what you know now, I'm going to ask you in retrospect, after reviewing everything, all the body worn camera videos, his videos, the YouTube videos, documents and stuff, would you like to make a statement about what you know?
Like about the whole situation.
Yeah, about,
I definitely think that we probably, that's why when I was on scene, I didn't go hands on. I didn't tell him it was.
No.
You know,
No,
I was on scene.
No.
And I definitely-
come here. No.
That's why when I was on scene, I didn't go hands on. I didn't tell him he was detained. I didn't say, you know, I didn't ask him to leave any weapon on him. At that point,
Oh yeah.
that just wasn't like a big
Oh yeah.
in my head for me. That's why I called for Officer Deating. I know he's had couple years on the range, so he's the senior officer to me, my zone partner. I called him. I definitely think that when he got there, that the course of action he took probably was not the best one because he wasn't able to get both sides of the story. And I kind of wish that we would have went back and had him talk to the business owner.
Oh now.
And then have him talk to me. I was like, hey, this would be what did he tell you? I was like, what do we have here now? And I think that we skipped over that step. He went straight to going hands on with him.
That
Instead of
boy's
doing
squealing.
business owner, what we have.
Okay.
Coming back to me and saying, hey, this is what he told me.
Okay.
And kind of see the differences and see if we can work out with the business owner wolves go.
so you calling him to the scene, if I understand you correctly, you were counting on his
Man, I love this.
experience to try to help resolve the situation.
I was, yeah.
Okay, in your view now, in retrospect, do you believe panhandling is a crime or a city ordinance violation? Do you believe that carrying a sign that says "God bless the homeless vets" on a public sidewalk, is there any crime or violation there?
No, sir.
Is there any crime or violation by a person that's carrying a concealed weapon lawfully with a concealed weapons permit?
No, sir, as long as it's valid.
Okay. So going back, what would you do different?
I'd probably go back.
My
and
bad, y'all.
kind of work through that myself, honestly. Go back to the business owner, be like, hey, this is what we have, this is what's going on. And probably just work that scene by myself. If he identifies himself, that's just right. But it'd be like, hey, just let you know the business owner doesn't want you up from it. You're allowed to be on the sidewalk, the public sidewalk, but he doesn't want you talking to any employees and anything like that. And at that point, I probably just let the matter be.
So if this gentleman continued to refuse and wasn't committing any violation, you would have what?
I probably would have got back in my car and contacted the supervisor, tell him, hey, this is what was going on, this is what we have.
Okay.
Just let him know that this dude matching like this description was out in the street, and just in case there were further incidents occurred, you know, we can at least know that you were in contact, you know, matching that description.
Do you think it would have been a good idea, what is the call to check if a city ordinance existed for panhandling?
Yes.
Okay. All right, do you have anything else to add?
No, sir.
Okay, this concludes the interview. As this is an ongoing investigation, I'm going to ask that you do not talk to anybody else about this. Except if you want to talk to a union or your personal counsel, if you have one, you can talk to them. Do not talk to anybody else involved in the investigation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to terminate recording at this time.
Jeez. All right. Woo. Man, that right hand. He ready to go knock somebody out. But all right. So we got him. He arrived at the scene first, didn't know what he was talking about, didn't do no investigation, came there to enforce their feelings. And Jeff wasn't going for it because he believes in standing up for his rights. And God put it in his heart to be there. So this cop, the one that we just watched, said he called this cop who's on the screen right now because he's supposed to be a superior and he's the one that went hands on. So yeah. Random citizen, we are watching a interrogation for when they violated the rights of Jeff Gray when he was standing on a public sidewalk, exercising his rights, holding up a sign that said, God bless the homeless vets. So the business owner didn't like that. So first he had a dispute with Jeff and Jeff didn't leave. Then he called the police and then they tried to make it, they tried to use the law to violate him. So they used the law to break the law. And this guy here is the second.
Smyrna Beach Police Department, Office of Professional Standards, Administration of Oath and Perjury Warning, IA number 2021-006. Officer K. Beatty, ID number 1609. I am Lieutenant Mark Severance with the New Smyrna Beach Police Department. Today's date is Sunday, January 2nd, 2022, and the current time is 17:54 hours. The location of this interview is the Office of Professional Standards Conference Room located at the New Smyrna Beach Police Department. Officer Beatty declined to have union representation or legal counsel present for this interview. Officer Beatty, are you aware this interview is being recorded? I'm
He don't
conducting an
like
official
that.
administrative investigation concerning Group 2, Section M, violating the rules, orders, and policies issued and adopted by the City Commission, City Manager, and/or Department Head. Specifically, Policy and Procedure Directive 15-2, which is preliminary and follow-up investigations, Section 15.2.7, investigative detentions. As a Florida law enforcement officer, a notary public of the state of Florida. I am
No,
empowered
New
to take
Smyrna
sworn
Beach.
statements. At this time, I would ask that you raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the statement you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Any false statement about material matters given by a witness under oath will constitute perjury, which is a third-degree felony according to Section 837.02 Florida statutes. You understand that if you knowingly make material misstatements of facts to me during this investigation, you will have committed the crime of perjury.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to sign this.
They hate accountability. Like this is, I know when them walking into this room, oh, they hate this in it, but they can't get away from this. Well, you know, sometimes.
Sign the date down there. These dudes.
Watch, it's gonna get good, man. I love this
The next
interviewer.
document is the advisement of rights for a disciplinary hearing, otherwise called the Garrity warning. I wish to advise you that you're being questioned as part of an official investigation of the New Smyrna Beach Police Department. You will be asked questions specifically directed and narrowly related to the performance of your official duties or fitness for office.
Well, I hope nobody's hungry.
You are entitled to all rights and privileges guaranteed by the laws and the Constitution of this state and the Constitution of the United States,
But
including the right not to be compelled to incriminate yourself. I further wish to advise you that if you refuse to testify or to answer questions relating to the performance of your official
No, he's probably red. It might be the camera, but he's probably red.
duties or fitness for duty, it will be considered an act of insubordination and a violation of a direct order by.
And I have the you know they don't have good quality because we up to 720. I tried to make it as good as possible.
Superior or competent authority. If you do answer, neither your statements nor any information or evidence which is gained by reason of such statements can be used against you in any subsequent criminal proceeding, except for perjury or obstruction of justice charges. However, these statements may be used against you in relation to subsequent departmental charges. The aforementioned advisement of rights is not the warning in criminal cases under the Miranda decision. As mentioned, Miranda has no application in a disciplinary interview. You understand? If you would sign date and I'll write the location on there.
Oh man. Come on now. That's why I let you say one time. Feed.
For the record, please state your name, rank, and current duty assignment.
So the Police Department Patrol Officer.
What shift you work?
Probably.
Have you reviewed the USB drive files, documents, recorded interviews, YouTube videos, PWC videos, Central Dispatch radio recordings, et cetera, that I provided you on Monday, December 27, 2021? Okay, before we go any further, obviously, everything in this particular incident is either captured on our video or the subject's video. So I don't think there's any dispute over what was said, who did what, and what happened at the incident. So as I ask you,
Don't lie.
questions, you know, if you say something that doesn't agree with the video in the way it was said, I'm not making an issue with that. You know, we'll work through that if there's any inconsistencies, you know, because there's no way you could possibly remember everything you said verbatim. Okay, so I just want to make that clear for the record. Okay, the first question is, did Officer Gall call you on the phone and request your assistance to a suspicious person call on Tuesdays, December 14, 2021 at the New Smyrna Brewery, which is 143 Canal Street? Okay, did you read the call notes while en route to that location?
Briefly.
What did they say?
Skimmed through them. I know we had a mail out front of a business, and I believe that the call note says that he was panhandling on private property, but not at this time.
I think it said he was asking customers for money in front of the business and harassing customers, something to that effect. Okay.
Mhm.
When you arrived at the scene, did Officer Galt meet with you and provide you information concerning the call before you spoke with his subject?
I believe.
Hey, what's up?
Across the street.
Okay.
And as I walked.
What's
from-
up, everybody? Hit the like button.
What did he tell you?
It's my recollection. He just said that he wasn't cooperating, and I'm not gonna really think he said anything else besides that.
Okay. When you made contact with Mr. Gray, you confirmed that he was on a public sidewalk and told him the business said he was asking for money and that they had every right to have him move along. Is that correct? Okay, that brings me to my next question. Is asking for money, or in other words, another way to call it panhandling, in a public place, public sidewalk, is that a crime or a city ordinance violation?
To my knowledge now,
No, I want you to tell me what were you thinking?
when I came to the scene, when I came on scene, I did think we had to see what I just swore we had to see ordinance, but that you weren't allowed to panhandle.
I swear we had a city ordinance.
Even so, even more so, because I could have sworn that I've been told to enforce that on.
So now you're saying somebody told him to enforce this. So, yep, everybody for themselves.
Okay,
I have been corrected since then.
okay, well, let me ask you this. I know what you're talking about under the MLK.
Hold on, before we get into this, he said he's been corrected since then. So for the people who think that doing this doesn't help and making sure that we hold him accountable doesn't help, he's obviously been corrected, and he's gonna think twice about before he violates somebody else.
That's FDOT property. There is a Florida statute, 316-2045, I think, that deals with impeding traffic. It doesn't deal with what they're doing to impede traffic. That's a statute, and under the bridge there, we have had FDOT trespass authority for that property, and it's my understanding, we've trespassed people from there and have maybe even made arrests for trespass after warning. Even though they were panhandling, they weren't arrested for panhandling, they were arrested for trespass after warning. Okay. All right, so you went on to say let me go back. The subject was subsequently identified as Jeffrey Gray. So I'm just going to call him Mr. Gray from this point on. Okay. You went on to say that because you're there and they called about Mr. Gray, that we have to identify him. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What was Mr. Gray's response?
He pulled out a refrigerator mag inside of his pocket.
What were they?
INT.
So that was- okay. Did you tell him that if he does not provide ID identification, that he would go to jail?
Yes,
Why?
because at the time I thought we had a crime. I had the manager was standing right next to us, and he was saying that his waitresses were scaring him out and that they felt threatened and that he was on private property asking for money. And what I should have done was investigated that first
Yeah.
before detaining him and
Yeah.
moving him across the street.
Yeah.
Because when I went back and asked the manager more particulars about what he was talking about, and I believe it in my VWC video, I explained
Yeah.
the thing to him, like that's.
Yeah, Stevenson. That's why I wanted to play this video, because this helps us get into the psychology that they're going with.
None of that is illegal.
Okay, we'll cover that a little bit later as well. So up to this point, when you asked for ID, up to this point in your investigation, did you have any reasonable or articulable suspicion that Mr. Gray was committing or was about to commit a crime or violation of city ordinance? What crime were you thinking of?
That he was either trespassing or assault, but that's just based on what the message thing. He was thinking that his waitresses were being threatened.
I don't recall hearing anything
Hey, props to this interviewer.
about that from the person, but I said that I'm not gonna go over the video line by line about what was said, but it's a matter of record already. So is holding a cardboard sign saying "God bless the homeless vets" on a public sidewalk or asking for money or panhandling a crime or city ordinance violation? No. You've learned that since this incident?
Well, from the panhandling part. Okay, I knew everything else was not.
Okay, so holding the sign on a public sidewalk, no issue, right? No. It didn't say anything about money or anything. Okay. Did Mr. Gray ask if he was being detained?
Yes,
What did you tell him?
that he was.
Can you tell me why you decided to detain Mr. Gray?
Oh,
But it was in front of a restaurant that was open and full, and I didn't want to make the scene because he was being not aggressive, just argumentative and defiant. So I wanted to
hey
see
man,
across
what
the
you
street
got
rather
going
than
on? Blackbird.
in front of the restaurant.
So at this point, you're still under the impression that you're acting under your authority.
I thought we had it.
As you moved to detain Mr. Gray, did he tell you that he was armed lawfully and had a concealed weapons permit?
No. Yes and no. He said he was armed, He said that he was armed, but he didn't say anything about the concealed weapon until the guy across the street.
I have to correct you on that, because if you watch the video,
Oh,
he does say, I'm armed, pauses for a second lawfully, and I have a concealed weapons permit. As you were taking the sign from him. So that's a matter of record. That's what was said. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not-
Okay.
he doesn't
Just
listen.
Okay.
Basically, he doesn't listen.
Why did you seize the firearm before he was secured in handcuffs or at all, if he was only being detained pending further investigation?
Well, at that point, because I thought he was committing a crime, otherwise I want to put him in handcuffs, that he's resisting without violence. I'm trying to conduct an investigation and he doesn't want anything to do with it. He doesn't want to identify himself. So that's why I detain him. If I'm detaining somebody, I'm not gonna leave.
So you're conducting an investigation. He doesn't want anything to do with it because he doesn't need to be a part of the investigation. He's not doing anything. And they think we're being difficult for that.
To be lawfully detained. I was wanting to leave a weapon on them.
I think the whole word is
But wouldn't it
it's
be
about
more
traffic
prudent to
stop, right?
handcuff him first and then deal with the weapon issue if you
I wasn't
held it up? Well, he was being handcuffed.
Right.
That had not been done yet, and you were already diving in his pockets. So, all right, why did you tell him his attorney is a court thing and not a police thing? Can you explain that?
We're not required to have an attorney present during our questioning. We're either conducting an investigation or we're conducting Miranda warning questioning, which
Well, if he's invoking his right to have an attorney present,
he doesn't have to speak.
True.
But I mean, we're not calling you a lawyer to
Right,
come to this.
okay. After you walked him across the street, did he advise you that you were violating his civil rights and to proceed cautiously?
Yes.
What was your response to that? Do you recall?
I don't know.
I don't recall. He told you, you violate my rights. Proceed cautiously. What did you take from the I don't recall that. They don't care nothing about our rights. He didn't care nothing about his rights. He didn't want to listen. At this point, the reason he doesn't recall is because he doesn't listen. He's just going off ignorance and ego.
After removing his handcuffs, did you again tell him that panhandling was against city ordinance?
Pretty sure I did.
Okay.
Panhandling on private property. I believe is what I said.
Okay.
I am not sure.
Did
You don't
speak with
even
the
know.
reporting Party inside the business.
He don't even know what he told.
Yes. Not inside businesses in the front porch.
Can you describe your conversation with him?
I just asked him what he was complaining about, what was the problem with the mail.
Mhm.
And he said that he was begging for money or asking customers for money on private property. And he said that he was standing in the same spot where I made contact with him at. So I went and explained to him that wasn't private property, that was public.
So in his mind, there was a dispute over what the business owned and what was public.
So he pointed out that he thought he owned all the way up to where there's the curb, basically it's a large curb that hits like the telephone or the light poles.
Right.
But he thought he owned all that. And I pointed out to him down the street that Jason's corner
Right.
has a canopy that stops at their line.
Right.
Which is a crease in the concrete.
So in liberal sense of the terms, their little sidewalk cafes where their tables are sort of could be construed that that's the business property or they're allowed to conduct business there. And then the rest of it is the public sidewalk.
Which
You agree?
is pretty clearly.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's, the sidewalk was built and then there's concrete between the building and the sidewalk. So it's all one big piece of sidewalk, but you can see a line that goes straight down. The side. And I explained that
Okay. To who?
the manager that was outside.
But I heard you explain it to Mr. Gray later as well.
Yeah.
After speaking with the business employee, the manager, Axel's his
Take
name,
his breathing out.
evidence that any crime or city ordinance had been committed at that point.
Why are you breathing like that?
Investigation resulted in that there was no crime, even assuming that your assumption that panhandling was a crime.
Correct. He actually, when I asked him why, we get told that all the time, he threatened me or she threatened me.
Right.
And so he
All right,
asked me what that
Blackbird.
is, and he said, well, he didn't really say anything to my waitress.
We'll be
She
here.
just is afraid to come back outside now because he's here.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
said, well, that's not on him. He's allowed to be where he's at.
Okay.
And
Fair
that's- that was-
Did you call Sergeant Kirkland after the fact to advise him of the incident?
Yes.
Can you describe what his response was to you?
He said, Joe, you violated every right he has.
The other side of the conversation on the phone. What do you mean by that? I mean,
Hold
I
on.
couldn't hear the,
He said, Joe, you violated every right he has.
okay, I couldn't hear the other side of the conversation on the phone, but
Jeez.
what do you mean by that? I mean,
That's just what he said. I told him what went down. I told him, the manager's saying this and he's being defiant. So to get space between the manager and him, we detained him, took investigation, brought him over to my car. And then he's like, well, I hope you just make a big deal of this because you just I don't know if he said what amendment, but he's like, you just violated his rights.
okay. I want to discuss with you a little bit about the policy procedure directive 15-2.
Imagine how he felt after that. Once he called his sergeant and his sergeant say, hey man, you just violated every one of his rights. I'm not finna protect you from that. I don't know what you were thinking, but you on your own with this one.
The record, the DMS record shows that you signed this off on 9/19 of 2020.
Yep,
Okay, this was published in.
you effing
revision of it
idiot.
was published in 9/20, so when the revision came out, you had reviewed it and signed it. Specifically, the section that we're talking about is 15.2.17 investigative detentions. It says an officer is permitted to stop and briefly detain a person for investigative purposes if the officer has a reasonable suspicion supported by articulable facts that criminal activity may be afoot, even if the officer lacks probable cause. Such encounters must be evaluated by considering the totality of the circumstances. Investigative detention should last no longer than is necessary to effectuate the purpose of the stop. The investigative methods employed should be the least intrusive means reasonably available to verify or dispel the officer's suspicion in a short period of time. Any investigative detention must conform to current law. I want to bring your attention that one of the current law that's applicable here is one of the attachments here. Well, there's several attachments, but the one I'm going to reference is Florida Statute 901-151, which is Florida Stop and Frisk law. Okay, are you familiar with that? Just read it. Okay. So that being said, based on the facts of this incident as reviewed in this investigation, do you feel that you violated Policy and Procedure Directive 15-2 regarding that investigative detention?
At the time, I did not. Looking back at it and being peeled apart, yes, I should have investigated
Oh, I was
further.
gonna, you better answer.
If he was going to move off the sidewalk, he doesn't have to move off the sidewalk. We could have taken the investigation inside the establishment since they were the complainant anyways, and figured out what went down. And then afterwards, I find out that Galt had already done all this, but I wasn't made aware of it.
So, knowing what you know now,
Just clowns running around, not knowing nothing, ready to violate our rights. Don't know nothing about nothing. Just,
that the investigation has carried out, you know, like I told you at the very beginning, the record is undisputed of what was said, what was done, and by everyone involved on video and audio. So knowing all that and knowing now that there isn't any panhandling ordinance, there was no crime being committed, the investigation bore that out. If I'm understanding you right, with that fact, would you agree that the intent of the investigative detention was violated?
Yes.
Okay.
But if I had the knowledge that I have now, I would have never done that.
no qualified
You have
immunity,
resources
no way.
to tap into that knowledge. One, you call your supervisor, right? Always. Two, you have access to Municode via your computer. You can check and see if panhandling is a violation or an ordinance before you even get there. Property issues can be checked on the property appraiser's website. Have you ever used that?
Yeah,
For property lines?
yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
I knew the property line.
Yeah, all
Okay.
these options.
I'm not disputing the fact that I should have investigated prior to.
And I want to make it clear that this subject had no obligation to identify.
I don't know why they're not showing this to everybody as a training to what you don't do.
Himself.
Absolutely not. He was committing a crime.
Right.
He knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought he was.
Oh, let's back that up. What you say?
Make it clear that this subject had no obligation to identify himself.
Absolutely not. He wasn't committing a crime.
Right.
He knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
What
To
happened?
identify himself.
Absolutely not.
Or that this subject had no obligation to identify himself.
Absolutely not. He wasn't committing a crime.
Right.
He knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh,
I thought he was.
oh,
In retrospect, after reviewing your actions during this incident, would you like to make a statement or add anything else to the record?
I think my record speaks for itself, and the community as a whole would testify on my behalf that this is what he's putting on video is not my normal actions. This is not how I conduct myself.
come on, my
I don't
guy.
have people detain them illegally. I thought I had a crime, and therefore I thought I had the right to detain him because he wasn't IDing himself. So that when I had the crime, it would have been resisting, but I could have just left him there to himself, told him to keep his hands out of his pockets.
Oh, we gotta.
I thought I had a crime, and that what speaks for itself and the community as a whole.
Again, I want to make it clear that this subject had no obligation to identify himself.
Absolutely not. He wasn't committing a crime.
Right.
He knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought he was.
Okay. In retrospect, after reviewing your actions during this incident, would you like to make a statement or add anything else to the
Check this guy out and what statement he want to make.
record?
I think my record speaks for itself, and the community.
I
as a
think
whole
my
would
record speaks for
testify
itself.
on my behalf that this is what he's putting on video is not my normal actions.
What he's putting on video. What he's putting on video. Come on, man. Come on.
This is not how I conduct myself. I don't handcuff people and detain them illegally.
You don't handcuff people and detain them illegally, but that's what you did.
I thought I had a crime.
You thought you had a crime. How many other times have you thought you had a crime, but that person didn't know their rights? So, they just ended up getting violated and nothing happened to you.
Therefore, I thought I had the right to detain him because he wasn't IDing himself. So that when I had the crime, it would have been resisting. But
So he thought he had a crime they try to make a crime so they can get you for something.
I could have just left him there. Himself, told him to keep his hands out of his pockets. Gall was there, Gall was, could just why I did more investigating.
Okay,
I know what I should have, in looking hindsight, I see where I went wrong. Okay, this is by no means the way I do business. I'm probably one of the more professional people in this department.
okay, I just want to, the last thing I want to add is.
Yo, check what?
You know, he was not committing a crime, obviously, the facts bear
I
that
hear
out.
Cusby
And,
myself.
You could have done things a lot differently. I appreciate your candor in answering the questions to the best of your ability. Anything else you'd like to add? Okay, I don't have any further questions. This is still an ongoing investigation, so I'm going to ask you not to speak with anyone else about this, except your union rep or a personal representative of your choice. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to terminate recording at this time.
Yeah, he ain't got nothing else to say. But so yeah, so I played that so we can get an idea of the mentality that they are arriving at the scene with, as you can see. So what this allows us to do is address some of these things, So when they get there, we got to let them know what rights that what amendment rights that they're violating. And we also have to let them know that we're not being we shouldn't have to let them know any of that. Really, we should say we are well within our rights. If they don't know their rights, that's their problem. They're supposed to know our rights way more than we know them, because they're supposed to be sworn to protect it. Hey, what's up, Damon? All the way in SoCal. He literally said, I'm no more professional than the rest of my department. Man, I bet his sergeant was upset with that part. Like, bro, why would you even say that craziness, man? What does that say about the department if you're one of the better ones? Jeez, man. I don't know. I want to check that out with y'all. I'm about to go. Hey, do y'all mind if we go back and hear this his closing statement? Tell me if y'all want to hear his closing statement again.
Your computer, you could check and see if panhandling.
The interviewer was giving him way more options. You could have did this, you could have did this, you could have did this, you could have did that. You chose not to do any of those.
But I'm not disputing the fact that, I mean, while
These could be checked on the property appraiser's website. Have you ever used that? For
I'm
property
not,
lines?
yeah, I mean, while I knew the property lines.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not disputing the fact that I should have investigated prior to.
And I want to make it clear that this subject had no obligation to identify himself.
Absolutely not. He wasn't committing a crime.
Right.
He knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought he was.
Okay. In retrospect, after reviewing your actions during this incident, would you like to make a statement or add anything else to the record?
I think my record speaks for itself, and the community as a whole would testify on my behalf that this is what
This guy is a
he
clown.
putting on video is not my normal actions. This is not how I conduct myself. I don't handcuff people and detain them illegally. I thought I had a crime, and therefore I thought I had the right to detain him because he wasn't IDing himself. So that when I had the crime, it would have been resisting, but I should have.
When you had the crime.
Himself, don't keep
What?
it in his pockets. Gall was there. Gall was just why I did more investigating.
Okay.
I know what I should have been looking.
Then he throw it on his partner. Well, my partner was there too. He could have told me that, hey.
I see where I went wrong. Okay, this is by no means the way I do business. I'm probably one of the more professional people in this department.
Okay, I just want to, the last thing I want to add is that, he was not committing a crime. Obviously, the facts bear that out. And you could have done things a lot differently. I appreciate your candor in answering the questions to the best of your ability. Anything else you'd like to add? Okay, I don't have any further questions. This is still an ongoing investigation, so I'm going to ask you not to speak with anyone else about this, except your union rep or a personal representative of your choice. Any other questions? Okay, I'm gonna terminate recording at this time.
All right, so let's go back.
Pretty much asked us to do. When you don't want to.
This is back when they showed what was happening, the type of energy they had then.
Identify yourself when we're called. So it's totally different if we're driving by and that's you over there, right? You're not requesting anything on your sign. You're not breaking any laws. Okay. When they complain to dispatch that you're asking for money and if there are customers who are telling staff that is against the law. So we're doing an investigation to see if that actually occurred. Okay. That's the only reason why you're being detained. But because it's an actual investigation of a complaint, you have to identify yourself. That's state statutes. Okay. Just make sure you're aware of what's going to go down because you won't.
I'll let you remain silent. We'll take my turn, President. I'm not answering further questions.
Okay.
I will advise you guys that you're in violation of civil rights.
Absolutely not.
I probably hate you, partially supersede this from below. But on those.
We're not.
He said you've been put on notice. He said we're not. What? Yeah, man. If y'all want to check this out, it's on a Crime Watch page under when 3 corrupt cops got caught. Yeah. This was crazy. On last stream, we watched the I Will Slap Your Face. That was crazy. But yeah, so y'all talk to me. You know what y'all what y'all want to talk about? You know, earlier we looked over the video that I had at the government center, and we had the front desk girl who was just a very nasty lady, and calling her a lady is being nice. But yeah, this is what is so fucking scary about these people. They think they are right all of the time. Yeah, exactly. And they want, for one, let me stop this. For one, they think they're right, completely wrong, and don't even think that they need to see if they're right or wrong before they make a move. They just it's crazy. Then when you get in the interview room, it's like, oh man, I'm an idiot. I probably should have, investigated. I probably should have did this. I probably should have did that. Why did you feel so bold and so gun-ho to not do that from the start? You got 2 cops there. None of them know what to do. None of them know what to do. They think all orders are lawful orders because they are law. I think that's it. I think they think all orders are lawfully. Yeah, I think that's what you're saying. They think all orders are lawful because they are the law. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. You for sure right. They don't let us. They definitely don't let us get by. We're talking about I didn't know, and well, for us it's too bad. For them, well, maybe you'll get it right next time. Hey, it's okay. Do it right next time though. That's how they get treated. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Did y'all see the first officer, not like that they showed right after the sergeant, how he kept that right hand clenched the whole time, like he wanted to. Yeah, man. It's crazy, but that's the psychology. So, I felt like that was important. That was good for me to see, so I can see where their psychology is. So, but it basically told me pretty much what we already know. They're fueled off of ignorance and ego. They admitted themselves without, in so many words. Even through the ignorance of the law, it's no excuse for us, and it seems to be for them. No one can know our law. We can only hope we and they learn our rights and we keep them. I got you, Stevenson, but it's the thing, nobody's gonna know all of the laws, but they don't even know the first 5 amendments of the Constitution. The Constitution that they're sworn to uphold. They don't even know the first amendment. They don't know the first one on there. They don't know the second one. And you get to the fourth one, they don't know that one either. So how do you not know? I can understand not knowing all of them. I don't know every single amendment, but I know the first one. Yeah. Yeah, but they definitely see Jeff did a great job because they definitely know our rights now. They definitely know our rights now. And the sergeant definitely knew. Got on. They called him afterwards. I know he was pissed off. He like, man, damn. Then they found out who it was they actually violated. Jeff Gray with a massive following. Oh, they like, damn, that's why when he did this, he like, man, I'm not taking the heat for this one. It's I don't know why they didn't follow the rules. Maybe they didn't know. I believe they were acting, they didn't know, but they were absolutely dead wrong, is what he said. And they were all telling on each other. The officer after the sergeant said that he called the next one after the one who did his interview. They called him after, and the officer who came in after the first one said that the first one didn't tell him everything was going on. So it was miscommunication all around the board. Nobody's decided to do a real investigation. They just run around with chickens like chickens with their hair cut off, going off of arrogance and ego, and they got weapons. Yeah, man, Jeff is, I think, one of the best ones at it. Because you should see the rest of the department. You think I'm unprofessional? You think I'm unprofessional? You see the rest of the department. That's basically what he said. He threw the whole department under the bus. Dang. All right, Paul just dropped another one. We're gonna watch that one. Y'all still with me? They flip-flop between laws, policy, and ignore each when it suits. Exactly. All right, let me just up you random. It's short time, 3 minutes. Okay, we're gonna check that out, Paul. All right, so Paul got a video for us. Hold on, my bad, y'all.
Now the secret behind any great burger.
Let me, y'all give me a second. Let me get to this video. Let me get to the video. Y'all make sure y'all like the video if you haven't already. I'm just learning how to, that you got to say, okay, click the like button. I usually would think people would just do it, but sometimes you gotta see it. Oh, I remember this one. We can watch this one though. I remember this one. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've seen this one before, but that doesn't mean it's not a good one. Okay. Here we go.
What's this in your back pocket? What's this in your back pocket?
Whatever he wants it to be.
Shocking body
Yeah.
camera video shows deputies arrest a legally blind man.
Whatever he
walking
wants
back
it to
from
be.
jury duty with a walking stick.
Wait, what's your?
Yeah.
Camera video
Hold
shows
on, y'all.
deputies arrest a legally blind man.
Whatever he
walking
wants
back
it to
from
be.
Jury duty with a walking stick.
All right, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1
Hold
second.
on, y'all. Legally blind man.
Whatever he wants it to be.
Jury duty with a walking stick.
All right, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I gotta turn this off. All right, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I gotta turn this off. All right, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. What the heck? I gotta turn this off. All right, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. What the heck? I gotta turn this off. Here we go. My bad, y'all. Let's go.
Name and date of birth.
I don't have to do that.
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
Reasonable.
My house right now. Yes, sir, I do.
It happened on October 31st in Columbia County, Florida. Body camera video shows deputies interacting with 61-year-old James Hodges, who was carrying a walking stick in his back pocket. According to the video, responding deputies at first believed it was a gun.
What is your suspicion?
It looks like you're carrying a gun in your back pocket. I'm stopping to make sure you're carrying it properly. You don't.
She know that's not a gun. Get the fuck. Get out of here, man.
What's this in your back pocket?
You know that's not a gun. What?
Shocking body camera video shows deputies arrest a legally blind man walking back from jury duty with a walking stick.
Wait, what's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to do that.
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
Reasonable.
My house right now. Yes, sir, I do.
Listen to her.
On October 31st
Yes, sir, I do.
in Columbia County, Florida. Body camera video shows deputies interacting with 61-year-old James Hodges.
Oh, y'all not seeing the video? My bad, my bad. Hold on. Hold on. My fault. Let me share the screen again. Let me share the screen again.
What's this in your back pocket? I saw you walking it.
Navigational aids. What's the problem? You're tired?
Shocking body camera video shows deputies arrest a legally blind man walking back from jury duty with a walking stick.
Wait, what's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to do that.
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
Reasonable.
My house right now. Yes, sir, I do.
It happened on October
Yes, sir, I do.
31st
Listen
in
to her.
Columbia County, Florida. Body camera video shows deputies interacting with 61-year-old James Hodges, who was carrying a walking stick in his back pocket. According to the video, responding deputies at first believed it was a gun.
What is your suspicion?
There ain't no way she thought that was a gun.
Make sure you're carrying it properly. You don't have
Have you ensured that it's not a firearm?
no, you keep turning so I can't see it. You don't have to be to me.
Well, you're being one to me.
Video
So again, she would at this point, she's just mad because the way he responded to her for her trying to violate him. He already knew she was on some BS, and they expect you to be nice to them when they are already coming at you with some BS. You don't have to have an attitude. I'm just trying to violate you. That's all.
shows Hodges refusing to give out his name, date of birth, or ID card. He then calls for the responding deputy's supervisor.
No, sir, I'm doing my job.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Do you have a crime?
Would you like me?
Tell your
It's
supervisor.
right here.
The supervising deputy again asks for Hodges' ID, but he refuses.
For a walking stick. And it could look like a weapon. She asked you to really.
No, come on, man. They said, look at this idiot.
I gave them a reasonable articulated suspicion. And I have committed a crime and committing a crime or about to do a crime. Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? She's asking for your ID. Well, now she'll verify that I am not armed. So there is no problem. ID or not? I don't have my ID. You don't need it.
After that, Hodges is handcuffed.
Yeah.
That's when Hodges confirms that he is legally blind and carries the navigational aid to help him when walking. He also tells
He don't
deputies
even
he
need a
was stopped
reason.
while walking back from jury duty.
Sir, you legally blind? Yes, I am.
Does that matter? Why'd you even ask him that? Like you even care?
In the dark. The jury duty, which was canceled. Why don't you use your stick? You don't have to do this all the time. Not all the time.
After Hodges' ID card is retrieved, the supervising officer.
They be
orders
asking
he
the
be taken
stupidest
into
questions in the
custody for
world.
Resisting an officer and obstruction. All right, Mr. Hodges. Was that hard?
Shut.
It's gonna be. I want your name and your badge number.
Uh-huh.
Self-resistance.
Okay. All right, let's go.
I want your name and badge number too, sir.
Hodges is then placed in the back of a squad car.
I'm gonna pull this out of my back pocket.
Here, I'll grab your jacket for you too. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office released a statement saying Sheriff Mark Hunter is, quote, troubled by what he has seen in the video and the matter is being addressed. An administrative investigation into the incident began on November 3rd when officials say they were made aware of the situation. The statement also reads in part, quote, if policy violations are sustained at the conclusion of that investigation, appropriate action will be taken. Law and Crime Network reached out to the Columbia County Sheriff's Office for additional comment, but were told to refer to the online statement. For the latest developments in this story and all things true crime, stay with Law and Crime.
Hey, Paul. So I believe he's diabetic and can't see well in low light. That man, even if none of that was, even if he just had the stick because he wanted to carry it in his pocket, for absolutely no reason, he could have. There's no law saying you can't have a walking stick or anything in your back pocket. As long as it's not like, as long as it's not an actual firearm, which she knew. She's like, oh, I don't know if it's a firearm. What are you legally blind? Have y'all seen the one where they snatched the visually impaired guy while he was in the waiting room and won't give it back? No, if you can drop the title in the channel, I think either Paul or Steve or Kay can find it out. I heard that he's filing a lawsuit, but had issues with his lawyer. Yeah, y'all, man, that's the thing. It's not the easiest process, even if when you get violated, it's not the easiest process to just go and start suing and having a case and everything. But yeah, they violated. What would make her want to do that? Like, I just don't get it. What would make you go bother an old man walking down the street with his walking cane? Mad because he wasn't nice to you? Because your feelings hurt? So because your feelings hurt, you think you got all the power in the world to just throw us in cuffs and ship us out? Yeah, if you drop the video, I'll go ahead and we could watch it. I gotta get some water. I'll be right back. I'm getting some water. Yeah, so if y'all drop the video, then we can watch it. But yeah, it amazes me that what they're doing out here. Like, why would she bother that old man? What could she possibly get from bothering that old man? What could she possibly get? Yep, feelings, nothing but feelings. All right. Paul dropped the video. We can go watch it now. Ego, yeah. Ego was the only thing. That's the only thing. It was ego. Because he didn't just go for what she. I don't have to ID myself if I'm not doing nothing. You just, hey, where's your ID? What? This is not the country for that. All right, let's get this. Yeah, okay, it is sad. Okay. Let's get this going. Share the screen. Power trip, yep. But I hope, you know, I hope that they do some training, or not even training. It's just, I don't think training can train you out of who you are as a person. I think certain people are a certain way as a person, and no amount of training is gonna fix that. You know, they just bullies who they're bullies who couldn't bully nobody else before they got their badge. So they had to get the badge and the gun to, you know, feel like they got some respect from somebody. Let's see.
Did you just grab my?
I am
No, the
the
fact-
Oh,
The fact
whoa, that lady just took his phone. That's crazy. What? No, ain't no way.
I am
No,
the
the
law
facts.
enforcement officer.
The facts
and
are
I'm
important.
Doing my job.
Hold
I
on,
need
let's get
you
the
to
facts
allow
straight. Let's get the facts straight.
No.
Let's get the facts straight.
They don't want to get the facts straight.
Yeah.
Line justice. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm go ahead and hit the button. Y'all go do that. Or if y'all haven't did that yet, go ahead and do that. Somebody told me that the algorithm, oh shoot, the algorithm doesn't like me to say the word. So
Did you just grab my?
I am
No,
the
the
law
facts.
enforcement
The
officer.
facts
and
are
I'm
important.
Doing my job.
Hold
I
on,
need
let's get
you
the
to
facts
allow
straight. Let's get the facts straight.
No.
Let's get
No.
the facts straight.
Yeah.
yeah.
Vet Center, this is Aislinn.
Yeah, it's the veterinarian.
Yes.
Yeah, I just heard about you guys today. Can you tell me what you guys do or what you have available for veterans?
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's
so
bad.
here at the Vet Center, we provide mental health counseling to veterans, as well as some active duty and their family members. So all that someone would need to do to engage in services here is bring a copy of your DD-214 or some other proof that of service, and then you'd be eligible to, you know, do an intake and get started with services if that's something you're interested in.
But is it just walk in? You just walk in with that?
So yeah, so you can walk in with that stuff any day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. There's somebody up front that can process your information. And when you come in, you'll fill out just a demographic paper, you know, and then also do a short risk assessment, and then on site.
Is it part of the practice to like being admitted to a facility?
That's an option for folks who are, you know, in an acute phase of psychiatric need. So I mean, and anybody can go there.
Okay. But as far as veterans going to the vet center, you guys don't, like, you're not going to call out the guy that comes to grab a veteran and put him in a straight jacket.
Oh no, sir, no.
I mentioned this. I heard about this through the my disc coordinator, Wine Rehab Center. Actually, they had the vet center. They were interesting programs.
Yeah, we also have golf as PTSD support groups, and then we're looking to start some equine therapy, which is horse therapy, here soon. So there's a lot of different group options available.
Right.
With proof of service, I think that is something that could be accessed through the site, but I'm sure that the vet centers in our district.
Accommodations of using that in order to, but I can't fill out paperwork because of my vision loss.
Okay.
I'll need somebody to fill out paperwork and things like that. So who do I make it?
As far as getting paperwork filled out, you know, our PSA, I'm sure would be able to assist you with that if you just wanted to get things started.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I could come in and do that.
Would you mind if I got your phone number and I could find out about a disability coordinator and give you a call back?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, what's your phone number? All right, bye-bye.
A blind veteran visited the vet center on March 7, 2023 at around 4 p.m. The veteran uses assistive devices issued to him by the VA blind rehab and prosthetics departments. His assistive devices help him with a number of common tasks from navigation to note-taking. His assistive devices serve as his prosthetic eyes. Within moments of entering the vet center and speaking with the receptionist, a woman came into the lobby from the street and told the blind veteran that he could not use his assistive devices there. The woman from the street ordered the receptionist to close her window and to not help the veteran. The woman refused to identify herself, but she said she was on the phone with their security. The blind veteran sat down in a chair next to the front counter and placed one of his assistive devices on a side table next to him.
I'm from the vet center.
Yes.
Somebody on the phone earlier about.
Sir?
Yeah.
We know about you, so you're gonna have to.
What's that?
Put that away. On YouTube.
Who is this lady?
And I got the people on the phone with me right now,
More people.
security. So,
For what?
do you have an appointment with me today?
Who are you?
Come on, let's go.
Why do people think you have to? What does she think this is? Come on, let's go. Who are you?
What's that? Who are you?
Is that the trophy?
Who are
Who
you?
are you?
Who
Talk to
are
somebody on
you?
the phone about getting services here. Did I talk to you or did I talk to somebody else? Hello?
Look at this lady, man. This is a blind man. He's using his devices
Hello?
to assist him with his disabilities. And
What's
look
that?
how they acting.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Come on now.
What is your name?
What you think this is? That boy done sat down. Yeah, no, let me go ahead and get right.
I'm here for services.
The lady on the phone with security walked across the lobby and stole the blind veteran's prosthetic eyes, then walked out of the
Assistive
building.
device, do not touch. I love this second angle.
Did you just grab my equipment? Hey, that's
Khaki.
Look at her. This is why you gotta have multiple cameras. In my establishment.
Yes.
You don't own it. You don't own it. What are you talking about? You just work there.
And I got his device right now. Avenue.
Give me my equipment. That's that. Just stole my equipment. Give me my equipment.
The same lady later claimed she was a counselor at the vet center and that she called the police. The blind veteran demanded she return his equipment that she stole.
Give me my equipment.
I think it's Michael.
What is your name?
My name's September.
September what?
So she commits a crime to stop someone from doing what they rightfully had a right to do, but she committed a crime. Hold on, let me read some of this. Just a little background on the sergeant. He killed his canine partner in 2008 by leaving him in the cruiser without AC. Ooh. I hit the like button already, which is eventually allowed in pieces to use as visual or memory aid, as well as lawfully in policies. I've seen most of Blind Man Justice videos, and you have no idea how much shit the police, courts, and VA have put them through. It's horrible. Somebody who actually went out there and fought. Like, you come back to a place, you fought for these rights, and then you come back and they violate them. And they know you're a vet, and they violate you even more.
You stole it.
The lady, later identified as September Sims, continuously refused to return the blind veteran's prosthetic
September
eyes.
Sims.
Give me my equipment.
She is a Sims character.
This is not your building. Right, this is government property. I'm a veteran, I'm here for services. Give me my.
Why do they say it's not your building?
She's
It's
still
not your
doing it.
building.
She has stolen my equipment and has refused to take it back. Give me my equipment. Ma'am, you're returning the property that you stolen, ma'am. You have to identify yourself to me. You just walked in off the street behind me and stole my equipment. I came here for services. I came to the window.
And you guys tell me your name.
Because how am I supposed to know that you work here? Then give me my equipment, okay? Let me report your ID card. Give me my equipment,
No, sir.
okay? So you've stolen my equipment. It's right here. Right here.
Eventually, police show up and recover and return the stolen property to the blind veteran.
Right?
Hello.
Hi, I'm Officer Howell, police.
Okay, this lady just stole my equipment and I would like it returned.
Okay, okay, so this is your equipment, the phone in your stand?
I got a phone and a stand right here. She took it from me and she's been refusing to return it to me.
There's that,
Okay.
for you?
All right. I would like to place charges for larceny.
Who's in there?
September.
Who are you?
I am the vet counselor.
Okay,
I'm the director right now.
okay.
Counselor September Sims confessed to the police officer that she did in fact take the veteran's prosthetic eyes. When the officer questioned her as to why, September said that she didn't allow the use of his assistive devices at the vet center. 4 police officers responded to the call, including a sergeant. The sergeant could not confirm if the PD has a letter of agreement between the VA Police/Federal Protective Services and the PD for concurrent jurisdiction there on federal property at the vet center.
Yes,
Do you guys have a written agreement with the federal government to have jurisdiction on this property?
I don't have that information, but I
Okay.
can get it for you. Right now, I'm supposed to call my sergeant on what's going on, and we'll get you updated. So you want to know if we have a written agreement?
Yeah,
jurisdiction over this
Right,
matter?
yeah, your department has to have a written agreement with the Veterans Affairs in order to have jurisdiction, because even though this is it's leased by the federal government, so this, in order to have jurisdiction for law enforcement, it's gonna be FPS or the Veteran Police
Or
Services.
DHS.
Unless you
yeah.
guys have a written agreement with those departments that you can operate in here.
Anything else on that information? I'm sure the reason that we got calls is because we do, but I will just make sure, just to make sure we have everything covered, okay?
Okay, and your name again, I'm sorry,
Officer Havlicek.
Havlicek.
Yes.
All right.
Give me one second.
What?
They're back in this office.
Look at this. 4 officers
I heard them mention.
for
so
nothing,
Are you an officer as well?
for nothing.
Okay, can you identify, please? Okay, so are you familiar with implied consent? Okay, so I have not done anything to revoke my implied consent to be here. I'm here for services. I'm a veteran trying to get services. And one of the people that claims to be an employee here stole my equipment. So, all right, so that's the only thing that I know that is a legal issue where a crime was committed would be that lady stealing my equipment.
Did she tell you to leave?
No.
No.
Even if she did tell me to leave,
You would have to leave.
no, because I didn't do anything to revoke implied consent.
Doesn't matter if you do anything. It's a business. And if a business.
No, there's a difference.
What we got to do is go to what I plan to do is go to the police departments and ask the sergeant or whoever's in charge there, do their officers know the difference between private business and public business? We need to know, we need to take that to the departments and find out, are they being taught that? Because that's ridiculous. I don't know why they think that just because they're at a business, that suddenly the business owner is the one who makes that decision. But in a public building, we are the business owners as a collective.
And that's what I was just telling this officer. There's a difference between private property, public property, and quasi-public property. There's case law, settled case law.
We'll check that one
Since
out
this is
too.
public property, there's implied consent for the public to be here, right? You have to do something that rises to a criminal offense or a disruption of the business in order to revoke implied consent for them to trespass. If that doesn't, since that's not here,
Chief, it's a public business. And if they request for you to do trespass, you do trespass.
well, that's not what the case law says. And if you guys do that, you'll be violating my rights.
Well, they're gonna be closed at 4:30 and you'll be issued a trespass warning and just walk out.
Well, at 4:30, at 4:30, I'll leave.
And if you return, you're gonna get.
Without confirming they had jurisdiction, and instead of arresting or citing September Sims for her hate crime, the officers issued the blind veteran a trespass warning. The veteran pointed out the lack of jurisdiction along with the fact that he has implied consent to be on the property and asked for services as it is public property and was during business hours. The veteran explained that a public entity/manager over public property cannot revoke a person's implied consent to be on public property unless the person has either committed a crime or disrupted the business. The sergeant stated that it didn't matter and that when they get a call to trespass someone, they do it regardless of the legality. The first officer on scene, Havlicek, after questioning September, claimed that the veteran argued with her and that disrupted the business.
All right, so I just need to get some information
What?
from you. If you'd like to come step outside and get all of the basic information as well as your cell phone
Okay.
information.
Are they refusing services? Is that what's going on?
Well, the office is closed and you're being trespassed from the building.
Being trespassed?
Yes, sir.
You mean you're giving me a warning of trespass?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then if you give me a warning, then I'll.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You've been trespassed. If you come back, you.
And what's the basis of this? Because like I told the other officers, do you understand implied consent with regards to trespass? That this is public property and it's different than private property or quasi-public.
And I don't think they even have
Do you understand the difference?
jurisdiction.
Requesting that you be trespassed from the property, therefore I am trespassing you from the property.
There is settled case law. I'm just making sure that you know that you're on notice, right? So you don't lose your qualified immunity, okay? Because this is public property, it's business hours. You have to, in order to lose implied consent, you have to do something that rises to a disruption of the business or a criminal act in order to lose implied consent. I've done that. The only criminal act was committed against me. So since I haven't done that, you guys, they can't trespass me under the federal law or under the law. Just so you know, if you want to issue that trespass warning, that will be a violation of my rights. So you're on notice. Okay. All right.
He let them know. He let them know. And they're so wrapped up in ignorance and ego that they're just gonna go right past it. When we watched that video earlier of that officer saying, once Jeff Gray informed you that you was about to violate his rights, what did you do you remember that? He said, no, I don't remember anything when he talked about, rights or anything like that. I don't remember him. Their brain shuts off right here. She's not even thinking. She's not even a person right now. She's just a robot.
So because of arguing, that is disrupting their business. Okay.
The arguing
She'll make no sense now.
And instead of arguing,
She's once they're in this mode, it's no reason to even discuss anything else with them.
with them, you could have called us, which you are fully capable of
How?
doing.
She stole my phone.
You have a wife.
She
Yes.
She has her cell phone. She's recording us right now.
She called. No. You don't get to turn her criminal acts into me arguing.
We are going to take care of that just as well as we would
All right.
take care of it if it were swapped. But as of right now, you are addressing with me that you cannot be trespassed because you didn't commit anything
Yes,
as such.
right.
Correct.
You arguing with her and vice versa is causing a disruption
No.
of the business.
Get
Therefore,
How specifically was it disrupting business? They
I'm not
hold on,
going
hold
to it with you.
But this is
I am
no,
a
the
law
facts.
enforcement
The
officer,
facts
and
are
I'm
important.
doing my
I'm
job.
a law
Facts straight. Let's get the facts straight.
enforcement
Yep, no, hold on. You don't want to get the facts straight. You don't. Hold on. Do you want to get the facts straight?
Either you give me the information that I need from you.
Do you want to get the facts straight?
The veteran pointed out that September was the only one who committed a crime and who
Boy,
disrupted
she ain't
business
got
by
no
ordering the
type
receptionist to close
of.
down. The blind
Let me see. Does she got a ring on her finger? Hold on. Let me see if she got a ring on her finger. Oh my goodness, man. Who married that? Who married
This is
that?
my job.
Hold
I
on.
need
Let's
to
get the facts straight. Let's get the facts straight.
No.
Yep. No, that's not. You don't want. Hold on. You don't want to get the facts straight. You don't. Hold on. Do you want to get the facts straight?
Either you give me the information that I
You're
need.
personally being
Do you want to get the
disruptive.
facts straight?
The veteran pointed out that September was the only one who committed a crime and who disrupted the business by ordering the receptionist to close down. The blind veteran offered to show the officers video evidence he recorded of the event with his prosthetic eyes. The officers did not review the evidence and instead trespassed the blind veteran from the vet center.
I did nothing to disrupt business. They denied service. They disrupted their own business because of whatever discrimination, right? Whether it be because of First Amendment activities and posting to a news channel, or whether it be because of my inability to see, right? They're both of those are discriminatory, right? And so that's the disruption was on the, what's her name, September and the other ladies. Like I didn't do anything to disrupt. I was a victim and I said, hey, stop giving my things back. So that can't be me disrupting the business. When they disrupt the business.
I understand where you're coming from, but
No, you don't.
the way our stuff works is if we are asked to.
The way
have
our
somebody trespass
stuff
on the
works?
property,
What
we
does
do.
that mean?
That's just how it works.
The way our stuff works, meaning y'all, again, law enforcement coming out to enforce feelings. What do you mean our stuff? Your stuff is supposed to be the law. You were supposed to arrest the thief who stole his equipment. His prosthetic eyes is what they call it. Golly.
Regardless of the law and what the case law says on it.
Is what we are doing. We have to do.
But you don't, like, because you swore an oath to the
But you
Constitution,
don't.
right? Like this.
I don't want to argue with you about this. I understand what you're saying.
not
But I'm
arguing.
telling you what I have the capability of doing and what I
Look
can
at
do.
her. Look at her.
The veteran is pursuing
Disgusting.
legal action against the vet center, its employees, and the police department.
Man, I don't know what they had going on. Let's see. A random citizen, have you been arrested while auditing? And if so, did they take your phone? No, I haven't been arrested yet. That's one of the reasons I avoid that is because I know that they'll try to take my phone. And I can't afford to have my phone taken because, I got business I need to take care of. Okay, Paul dropped another video. We'll go check that out. Let me go ahead and stop the share, find that video real quick, and then we'll get back on it. This will be the last one then I'm gonna get off here. Yeah, man, I can't. They'll be absolutely wrong. Then later on, when they actually call the sergeant, if they have a good sergeant, and the sergeant tell them, we'll check this one out.
Terminator, Blade Runner,
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Y'all, man, it's
Huge movies, and then right now your friend's making all the decisions for you. Right now you're
all right. They're always ready to. Do you mind if I mention some things I'm working on? Go ahead. Get this set up for y'all. For me too. It's cool. I get to react to these with y'all or watch them with y'all. I'd say react, but I'm really watching them with y'all.
right now your friend's making all the decisions for you. No, it's still seems to be like a comedian or something.
Can he know what he's been?
This is Lackluster channel, y'all. Just to let y'all know. Go ahead and you know, do those things. Click that button, click that one.
Accused of?
A robbery.
You being accused of robbing somebody?
Oh, once you
Welcome
see
back to the Lackluster. Robbery.
once you see
Seems to be like a comedian or something.
Can he know what he's being accused of?
A robbery.
You being accused of robbing somebody?
now, you already know. Once they see somebody who looks like this, things are gonna get a little bit different.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. On Valentine's Day just a couple of years ago, Cush Whitakay and Spidey Jones had met with their friends outside their apartment when uniformed deputies of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office pulled up to the residence and approached the group.
I have no idea.
Your friend here for a second. What's your name, man? Yeah, somebody just said that something happened and the person had red dreads. So
What?
that's a pretty, you know.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Wow.
I mean-
Spidey Jones.
I mean, that's a pretty unique thing. I'm not saying,
You're serious right now.
but do you just have an ID on you for this point? Yeah, I'm serious. I mean, not many people have red dreads.
Not many people have he doesn't have dreadlocks. Those aren't even dreads.
I don't have dreads to switch.
Those aren't even dreads.
Dreads.
I can't touch his hair, but show him those aren't even dreads.
What?
They're not dreads.
So the tips are red.
Those aren't the tips. That's the whole thing. That's hilarious.
Do you have an ID on you really quick?
My boy's been here for mad hours and you're coming accusing him of a crime. Can he know what he's being accused of?
A robbery.
You being accused of robbing somebody? What the? You being accused of something? You can't even hang out at your own house anymore.
Jeez.
Law enforcement officers can detain a person if they reasonably believe that an individual fits the description of a suspect involved in a crime. Descriptions are typically subjective, and while red dreads are unique, and despite the fact Spidey Jones did not have dreadlocks, it would be hard to argue that his hairstyle would be enough to effectuate a Terry stop. The police need reasonable suspicion to make an investigative stop or detain someone briefly for questioning. Factors such as the specificity of the description, the proximity to the location of the crime, and the behavior or actions of the person may be taken into account when determining whether reasonable suspicion exists. But even if the officer could argue that he has established reasonable suspicion, this brief detention based on one descriptive fact should not escalate into an arrest without a
Y'all you think he out there robbing people with a Rugrat shirt on?
additional
Come on
evidence
now.
linking the individual to the crime.
With
But
purple
instead of asking
headphones.
qualifying questions to link Spidey Jones to a crime, the officer sets
Oh,
the
blue
default
headphones.
mode and asks for ID. But do you have an ID on you or not?
He wants to see your ID because you're being accused of robbing someone.
This will take 20 seconds if you just let me see your ID.
What? If he sees your ID, he's gonna know if you robbed somebody or not.
Yeah, exactly.
His ID is gonna say if you robbed someone or not.
What?
So you want to see his ID to see if he just robbed someone because he fits the description of red dreads. Okay, I want to join this game. That's really like messed up. Okay, I'm a natural redhead. My tips are reds. Which one of us robbed them? My red. I have red hair. His is dyed. Mine's natural.
You're saying it's not really making any sense. Huh?
These are some unique looking.
Who cares? You're on my property.
They're
I'm
unique,
talking
boy.
about- Yes, it is. It's my property.
You own the apartment complex?
I actually own this apartment, yes. And the property owner's name, this one right here, I own this one. Yes, I actually do.
This isn't your property.
Oh, the whole thing, no, but this right here, this is mine, yup.
Okay.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Can I have your name, man, really quick?
He wants his name. What do you mean by name? Because you probably robbed someone, bro. You have red hair. You have red dreads.
Oh.
You had to. You have red dreads. You fit the description of red dreads, bro. So you had to rob someone.
Wow.
Because you have red dreads, goddammit.
Is it cool if I just get your name really quick?
Spidey Jones.
Spidey Jones, is that really your name?
Is that really his hair color? Like, are you serious right now?
Your name is Spider.
I'm baffled right now. I know, bro. You fit the description, bro. Is there any other description? What color is the guy's skin?
I'm not really talking to you, man.
It doesn't matter. I'm talking out loud on my property. Who cares? I'm talking out loud. The guy's skin. Yo, what color is the guy's skin? Was it dark, fair, white?
Make sure that you're.
Oh, random citizen. Good looking out.
With red dreads, and he must have been having a red
Yeah.
when he was robbing somebody. On Valentine's Day, he was wearing a Rugrats thing, robbing somebody.
The officers and such.
You're looking out, Red.
For Spidey Jones ID.
I mean,
The
random
officer knows
citizen.
the suspect's name, but if that were the case,
RC.
there are several other methods of investigation that the officer could deploy, other than stopping people on the street and running the risk of violating their Fourth Amendment rights.
Hold on. Get past this. We're gonna watch this all
But
the
it
way out.
appears now that the officer does not have enough information to demand Spidey Jones identify, and instead he resorts to insulting the men.
Look, I know your friend is. Like, no, bro, right now.
I'm not talking about this topic. This is funny as hell.
Like, is it okay if I get your name really quick? 'Cause right now your friend's making all the decisions for you. Or something.
I'm hilarious. We actually are. I'll give you my business card. There it is. That's my business card. You want to look
Up to you really quick. I don't know.
I really don't even like want to talk. That's like, no, bro. Like, you literally just came over here and then assumed that I'm doing bad things. Bro, like,
No, if I was you, I would have put you in handcuffs.
I'm not robbing people. Yes, he thinks that somebody just robbed him. I mean, he thinks somebody just robbed somebody.
He don't think that.
No, it's hilarious.
I'm saying, like, I'm not here.
Oh my God, it was hilarious. You are so new to District 1, I can tell. Jesus Christ.
No, I'm.
Jesus Christ, this guy right here is really over here doing this. Oh my God. So who did he rob? Who did he rob? Where's the guy he robbed? Turbo just believe you?
Why are you?
What's your badge number? What's your badge number? I want your badge number and your business card. I want your badge number and business
I
card.
don't have to give you my badge.
You don't have to give me your badge number.
I'm not talking to
You don't have. I just want it. I want your badge number. Thank you. And your first name? Your first name? It doesn't matter what my first name is. I didn't rob anybody. I don't have red dreads.
Why you have to give somebody-
Why did he have to give you his first name? Dreads. I don't even have. Why you gotta give you his first name? Get out of here with that, bro.
He done told him already.
Send it, bro. I don't understand what's going on.
Now he done already told him he don't have dreads, but he looking for somebody with red dreads. Bro, I don't have dreads. I'm looking for somebody with red dreads. Can you give me your ID? I don't have red dreads. I'm looking for somebody with red dreads. Can you?
I don't even have. Where's your look? Go get honestly. Go get Chad real quick, bro. Go
Yeah,
Chad.
get out of there. Get out of there.
Call Chad since you think we robbing people, fam. All people. Get out of here with that. You really, fam? Get out of here. Go get Chad, bro. Go call Chad because we're robbing people. Are you serious? We can't even hang out on Valentine's Day, fam. He's gonna come over here and accuse of robbing people, fam. Me out of all people. You want somebody? Like, are you serious? We are not broke, fam. Go somewhere. Yes, Spidey. You robbed him in a Nickelodeon outfit, Spidey. Bro.
Exactly.
You went way too hard. Bro, this is tough. Yeah, we
Come on,
said
man.
all the news or something. This is some bullshit, bro. Can't even hang out on the stairs, bro. We're not getting accused of robbing someone.
The interesting part of this situation is when using the crime search function on the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office website, there are no robberies reported for the 2 days prior. And now, after one of the most awkward ID refusals I've ever seen, the unidentified deputy retreats to his cruiser and leaves.
Where are you going?
Something wrong with him, man.
He might have robbed someone, you idiot, bro. You freaking idiot. Where are you going? Somewhere, bro. Hide your kids and hide your wife because Spidey Jones.
Interpretation and application of laws can change based on the laws applicable in your jurisdiction. Of a video, use the submit.
All right. Let's see what we got for the chat. Random citizen looking out, man. I appreciate that, man. Big time. Do you mind if I mention some things I'm working on? Random citizen said, I recently did a complimentary. I get what you put. I see what you did there. A complimentary on the Pueblo situation. But my next video is a character analysis I'm working on some Punisher comic books. Yeah, I'm gonna check out your we're gonna go to check out your channel. Yeah, we're gonna check out Random Citizen channel real quick. I watched this earlier. Once ID for red dress. His friend video did have red dress as well. The boss of these officers just walk up and ask for ID because you have dreads. The funny thing is, one of them didn't even have dreads. His hair was it was in twist, so he assumed he had dreads. He probably was in the process of locking them up, but they weren't locked. The ball. Okay, where we at? Wish I knew about what Random did. I'll figure it out. He sums up brilliant at the end. He drives off, leaving with his suspect behind. Yeah. Oh, that's bad. All right, we're at Random Citizens page. Go help him out, man.
A day after announcing his controversial appointment, Chris Nolan, Cleveland's police chief, Mayor Nick Garsar, set down the 13 investigators to explain his position. Nolan is at the center of an investigation after 10 complaints, including claims of discrimination, intimidation, and bullying, were filed by Pueblo police officers against Nolan. A report noted numerous examples of Nolan being difficult to work with, having a temper that is not productive in the workplace, and
Hey, y'all keep watching. I'll be right back. All right, let the dog out. I'll be right back, y'all.
This is Doug Collison, volunteer medic for the Pueblo County Sheriff's Office. He also works alongside Chris Nolan teaching firearms at the local community college. Documents show. More on him later. We turn now to his wife, who happens to be a teacher at the local Parkview Middle School.
Parkview Elementary. Parkview Elementary on the east side on East 9th Street. 13.7 East 9th Street.
1327 East 9th Street.
Yes.
Okay, what's going on, man?
There was a gentleman out front. He's on drugs, obviously. But with staff members, and we're going outside the town that he had to leave. And he spit at me, and he spit at the school psychologist. And the secretary. He said all three of us saying we're the other woman had on. But he has drugs vetting because he attempted to do that, and we were asking him to leave.
You see on tab bar on the right, it's simple to do super chat.
A bright green and yellow black hoodie.
Green and black hoodie?
Yeah, he's well complected, possibly Hispanic.
Okay.
Yeah, I
He had a backpack.
don't know how you do super chat either.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Random, let Blackbird
Okay, what's the word?
know how to do a super chat.
Well, he was out in front of the building. He was walking north on Montezuma. My name is Lisa Fullerton. Curlison.
Ullison.
Yeah, Curlison.
Okay, we'll have to head over there as soon as we can, okay? You guys having a SRO?
We do, but he's not here.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. I have a call from him. We'll see if we can get some over there as soon as we can, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, man. Bye.
SRO senior ranking officer is what SRO is.
Hello, 911. This is Faith. What is the address of your emergency? Parkview Elementary on the east side. All right. There was this guy out front before we were leaving with staff members. And we asked him to leave because we could tell he was going to be drugged inside the school. And then he started yelling at three of us staff members and just telling us we were Illuminati. And he spit at us. So he left because I thought I was calling 911. Called 911. I told him where we were here. And then he came back and he struck me. And then he proceeded, and I jumped in the car with the secret. And he started hitting. Yeah. Yes, he is going west. He's going west on the 9th Street. And he keeps like totally. but I was gonna wait for these. Okay. Okay.
Now it's true not to wait for the police, but hold on. But himself your assailant, Alex Montoya. The video contains random citizen. Before I let this play out, I'm gonna say go check. I'm not sure how, see this. So I'll go. I'm putting nothing. Great. It's buffering too. Yeah. My bad, y'all. I'm having some issues with the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna lower the resolution. So no, we can't do that. Why didn't got 4? We're gonna have to keep it at 720.
210. This is going to be 528 East 8th Street at an exterior cream on a fight. Multiple RPs are calling, stating that there was 2 parties restraining another party. They were assaulting him. The suspects arrived in an orange Jeep, and there's multiple parties that are stopping and getting involved. One party has a green and yellow hoodie with a red backpack and black hair. Possibly the same suspect from Parkview Elementary. 528 East 8th Street.
Coffee. What's going on, guys?
So he punched a school teacher at Parkview, and then I was going down the street. Had to be my wife over there, and we have a picture from the school. Let's see, the school secretary, and of course I think you already had that call probably in your screen. Yeah. But I didn't get the searching real well. I'm just getting ready to start. Okay, weapons on you, dude.
So you roll over onto your butt.
So that one was in stock. So that's like.
Jeez.
Bring your knees in. Stand up. Push yourself up. There you go. Go ahead and bring you over here. Nothing you need to know about, man. Just hang out for me, and I'll get all your info from you. So you want to wait by the Jeep?
That's fine. You're gonna take my head back.
Okay. Put up in your page.
Yeah, random citizen. I skipped the part where he was beat up like that because I don't want that to, even seeing the after images is, horrible enough.
All right. Okay, you want rescue? Rescue for this man. I got a fat cheek and some blood coming out of his mouth. I got him detained. So what exactly happened, man?
So my wife's a school teacher over at Parkview. I'm also a part-time guy at the sheriff's office.
Okay.
So just a part-time guy, there's a lot medic.
Okay.
So my wife called me, she's like, hey, this guy is, right in front of the building, and we told him to leave. So he started throwing something, punching cars at the front of Parkview. So then she called me back and said, like, hey, he just punched me. So I'm like, okay, well, go inside, let your kids out front, go inside and, get out of his way. So then I pulled up to the front and like, hey, he just started walking down 9th Street. So I'm like, okay, so I got this my Jeep. So I drive down 9th Street just so I can keep an eye on him. So I call you guys, hey, this is what's happening. It is. I went over to the school over here, whatever that school is down here on 9th, and I gave them a heads up to the road crossing folks. It's like, hey, FYI.
Yeah, he do. Random citizen. Let me ask you this. So did he actually do what he just said just now? Did he hit the woman? Or no? She was lying and said he hit her, and this ended up happening. Is that what happened here?
This guy was acting crazy in front of park, so I just in case he comes down here, and I gave that information to one of the school crossing people.
Okay.
So we just put your water camera, so you get that.
I hear you.
So then I texted one of the school crossing employees and said, in case you see this guy, be aware. She called me right back and said, hey, he's at 8th and Glendale. So I said, oh, okay, great. Let me come walking down here and driving down here.
Where do I need to go back to? I definitely I want to skip. I want to skip the part where I don't want to play the part where he has to get beat up.
Well, I saw him probably at whatever that other. Well, I saw him at that cross street.
Okay.
So I just pulled up here because I was like, hey, you know, see where he's going or whatever. So I did try to detain him here just to say so you guys showed up. And
you did try to, boy, they love switching it, man.
yeah, so,
That what you call that?
so he was trying to resist a little bit, and my son right here, he must have heard too that he was just came up and helped put him to the ground. So yeah, okay. But what's your name? Sure, I do. Yeah, it's in my question. All his stuff. So okay, including your backpack. Yeah, all that. So I did pull it out of his pockets because I didn't know if he had a weapon or anything. I said I don't. So I did pull it out of his pocket. Next thing I was ready to leave his medical on. Okay, you should have been. Yeah, so we got stuff to do. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem.
Does she want to press charges, you know, or?
Okay.
Where's she at now?
Okay. Okay, did you talk to her? I was going home and I talked about. That's why I'm about to anything. Okay. So the security did it is in the back of that car. Yeah, they took him to the ground, and the process of taking him down, he said he landed on his face. He's got like a swollen cheek and blood on his mouth. I said that happened to Maddie. We're starting to TSO. Okay, just medical over there and stuff. So he said in that car over there. Yeah, he said it's his wife that called and said, hey, this dude's here in front of the school. Don't leave. Don't take the car stuff. And then all of a sudden she called him back and says, he just punched me. And then he left, and then he come looking for the guy. And we got eyes on him. So yeah, obviously saw her.
So you're good. So I think it's already been notified that, you know, the kids did not have the future, I guess. That's what the husband said, but also the husband did not have to track that kid down in front of Nick Jerry on the ground.
Oh, that's a kid? That's a kid that got beat up?
We have three of officers there. Yeah, and I get that, but
I didn't know that was a kid.
But he was not fighting back. I have a son.
I'm definitely gonna watch it off screen.
That's like multiple people holding the kid down. Basically. And we do have.
So he is a kid. So these grown men.
Down instead of the police. Okay, what's your name? My name is make sure that everyone in the situation is okay and there's no off report because I saw it on the ground with his face cracked over. You know what I mean? And another kid was on top of the
still,
yeah. What's your phone number?
Got you, Paul.
But just making sure that this kid, he doesn't look the best. He looks like horrible hygiene. And I know that a lot of kids don't have supportive parents. So just making sure that it's, you know, that it's fair and fair. You know, he's obviously getting punished. He punched a woman at school, but a husband, an angry husband, also did not need to go. You know, that's crazy. But I guess that's it. Just making sure that, you know, that the kid is okay, that he's okay to get the punishment, but that no one's gonna bash his freaking head in.
Buffalo PD has now referred assault charges over to the district attorney's office for all three men involved.
Yeah, I think they would agree with that at this point. I think it's certainly not a shining example of the work that we do today.
As for Noller, he wanted to stress to me that there's no quote-unquote cover-up tied to the errors made in this case, which is a rumor that's been gaining steam on social media because of Doug Collison's ties to the county sheriff's office.
Okay.
That
was making sense.
Pleasure. I just got off the plane. I'm driving in the car. Driving in the car is always a good time to talk on the phone, so I figured I'd give you a call. Yeah, I think I'm fine with going on the record with both questions.
The charges against Alex been upgraded to 4 felonies. Thank you for bringing the investigation to Alex Montagna as well. He went from a ticket to prison time for his assault charges to multiple elementary teachers. Your defensiveness to this scum really shows what type of person you are. Wow.
No, that would be news to me.
That was
So
uh,
no, that would be news to me.
that was me. That guy would be, and that guy punched my mom in the face, got what was coming to him.
So I'll give you a little. So he was charged with a battery in municipal court, which is municipal court is sort of no big deal. Once this story broke, they dismissed the charges in municipal court and they sent everything over to the district attorney. They sent over the report. They're called charge requests, requesting charges for Alex as well as requesting charges for Doug and Nate Collison. It's going to be up to the district attorney what charges are filed and against whom. So upon the investigation, I'll be out there picketing if Alex is charged with anything more severe than a misdemeanor. There's no, based upon the report, there is the reports I saw, the body worn camera, which was very poorly investigated, the incident where he is the defendant. At most, they could charge him with a misdemeanor.
Okay, I came for his client.
Yeah, I would actually say that they shouldn't charge him. And I don't think this is charged from the standpoint that the investigation, before this investigation that was reopened, when it was just an investigation on Alex, they had no pictures of the alleged victim, Teresa Collison, one-page report. There's no witness statements. There's no body-worn camera because Baca, or no body-worn camera from the school. There's no surveillance camera from the school. And the primary officer on that, he was kind of off duty, but he came back and he did not have his body-worn camera on. And I believe that he should be investigated right now for his handling of the incident after Nick's Dairy Cream, for not recognizing the culpability. So I think that if they were to file charges against Alex, it's a city case from a prosecutor standpoint, because who's the witness? Teresa Collins. I don't think a jury's going to like her because she has a bias to lie. Officer Baca, the primary officer, he's probably already in hot water with internal affairs. He has a bias to lie. I think I'm going to get a lot of, I have a lot of fodder for cross-examination for both of them. The police have really bumped up the investigation, so it's going to be difficult, I think, to bring charges against Alex.
Wow.
I've been
Okay. I really don't want to speak too much on that. I really don't want to speak too much on that. Because I'm trying to see. They messed him up though. I don't want to say too much on that though.
Quavo Colorado, KR, reported a day after Alcino's controversial.
Yeah, no problem. Y'all check that out, and y'all have what are y'all opinions on that? Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. Now, from what I'm getting is that it was a homeless guy who probably had some mental issues, was having problems in the school, and they're claiming that he put hands on somebody. If you hit somebody's mom, you never know how that person is gonna react. If that was true, but you also got to take into account, like for me, for instance, my mom was a support coordinator for the mentally disabled. So sometimes her clients would hit her, would grab her, would scratch her. So it wouldn't make any sense for me to, try to go beat up every one of her clients, because we knew her clients had mental issues. That was her clients. That's who she worked with. But I don't know how how I would react if my mom was just, randomly doing her job and somebody off the, off the street just came up and punched her. But if you already know, he has mental issues, for one, as a woman, were you approaching him knowing, I mean, I don't blame a victim for, being a victim. So, it's hard to say on this. Y'all tell me I'm reading what y'all think. I saw the beating as a way over the top. I don't combine. I kind of say it was way over the top too. He looked real bad, like real bad. No, especially if he didn't cause like any real damage, like, I don't condone violence, but it's long known problem that humane methods of dealing should be in place by now. Can't blame some people if they don't have that capacity. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Don't know the extent of the issue. Yeah, that's why it's kind of hard to say. The main focus for me is the complete lack of investigation and subsequent cover up by the cop. Okay, I see what you're getting at, random citizen. You're not talking about the situation itself. You're talking about how it was just covered up blatantly, or trying to be covered up by the officers to not, they're trying to make it seem like it was street justice, but they can't condone street justice. That's not what police do. So even if they were biased, they can't. That's against the law. Yeah, but beating ups happened after the guy was subdued and on the ground. Yeah, you're right, Paul. I saw that. That's what you were talking about when, he was pretty much on the ground already, and the other person came and made it completely worse. And to be an MMA fighter, that's ridiculous. When she says he struck her, she literally laughs out loud like she's cracking up. Random citizen, go and find exactly what, find the time frame that happens in the video, so we can go listen to that. Because I want to get this story a little bit more, but I can't. I don't want to watch this whole thing because it looked like they beat him up pretty bad. The son went way far. He went crazy on the guy. Absolutely. And it's all about police corruption. Okay. Yeah. So stories is mainly about police corruption versus more so than the actions of these people, even though, that was bad too. But honestly, the man, look, I mean, he was a homeless guy who probably, had mental issues, and they almost killed him. And then they almost got away with it. And the cop tried to they tried to get him for felonies, which I know he wouldn't have any felonies. The only thing that he maybe have a battery charge, but that's about it. It has chapters in the description. Let me go back and check that out. I know I have chapters, but her first 911 call, she doesn't mention being struck. She just says Alex spit on her. And the second one, she says she was struck, and she literally cracking up while she's saying, oh, okay. So now it's making more sense. So and that's probably what happened. She went to lying. And now she done messed everybody up, because if she is lying, you done made your husband and your son throw away their life.
It's Ninth Street. 13.7 East Ninth Street.
1327 East Ninth Street.
Yes.
Okay, what's going on then?
There was a gentleman out front. He's on drugs, obviously. But,
Oh, so you knew he was messed up. He's on drugs, obviously.
He spit at me and he spit at the school psychologist. And the secretary. He spit at all three of us saying we're the Illuminati.
Stay on.
He spit on.
Spit at or spit on. You know, if somebody spit on you, you don't say they spit at me. You say they spit on me.
He has drug vetting because he attempted to do that. And we were asking him to leave.
So he spit on you and you asked him to leave?
A bright green and yellow black hoodie.
Green and black hoodie?
Yeah, he's also busted, possibly Hispanic.
Okay.
He had a backpack. He had a backpack.
They found no drugs on him. The reason they're probably saying he was on drugs is probably because of his mental issues.
Yeah, about 5'2". Yeah.
He's 5'2". Man.
Okay,
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, he was out in front of the building.
You're right. She don't say nothing about him hitting them. You talking about he spit at you, then they clarified it. It's a spit at, spit on. Then he said, yeah, he spit on. And I don't hear nothing about no assault. And it does seem like she was. She don't even sound traumatized.
L-L-I-O-I-N-O-N.
Yeah, C-U-L-L-I.
You know, we can get somebody over there as soon as we can.
Emergency. Parkview Elementary on the east side. All right, there was this guy out front before we were leaving with staff members. And we asked the police because we could tell he was going to do drugs inside the school. And then he started yelling at three of our staff members and just obviously the Illuminati, and he spit at us. So then he left.
Again, spit at, not spit on.
So I called 911. Called 911. I told him where we were here, and then he came back and he struck me. And then he proceeded, then I jumped in the car with the secret, and he started hitting.
Random citizen. Yeah, random citizen. Now that I run that back, I don't believe what I believe is he was probably standing out there. They didn't want him out there and he didn't want to leave, but they kept trying to make him they tried to keep forcing him to leave, and he was like no, and got annoyed and then struck out. And believe he might have had mental issues that, you know, of why he actually did that. So she ended up calling her husband and her son to go beat him up. She is just as guilty as everybody else. As far as what I'm seeing right here, and what I'm listening to. For one, she doesn't seem like a victim who was beat up or struck. She doesn't sound like somebody who was spit on. Spit at is like, okay, somebody can be over 10 feet away from you and you spit towards the ground, like over in that direction. Or you like, that's different from being spit on. Yeah, so hold on, y'all, real quick. Exactly. Nobody. No. You either got spit on or you didn't. Ain't nobody. I wouldn't. It's either you got spit on or you didn't. Yeah, I'm not finna call. Oh, they spit at me. No. Then he struck me instead of punched me in the face. What do you mean struck you? Yeah, so the more I'm listening to this, the more it's starting to not make sense. And it's the more and more it's not justifying that beat down at all. You know, I wouldn't know what to think if, you know, he was up there and he's assaulting, you know, women, beating up women, And then you know, the husband and son came and did that. This is not that scenario. This scenario is, I think they didn't like him up there, wanted him to leave. He didn't want to leave. So he was like, leave me alone, probably spitting at them or whatever. This is somebody with mental issues, not somebody who's, you know, coherent and, you know, clear thinking. And then they probably charged him and he struck out at them. I don't think he just punched them in the face or ran up and punched them. I don't think that happened at all, because they didn't say that. They didn't say he came after them, if you really listen to that. So I'll be right back. Yeah, it's crazy. I'll be right back, y'all. Oh. All right. I'm back, y'all. So yeah, so let me read some of the comments. He struck who even says that? Yeah. I've been accused of spitting while being restrained on the ground, trying to talk and or shout. A bit of spray came out my mouth. Bit of spray came out, especially with someone on your chest. Exactly. And how does a school not have cameras out front? That's true as well. That's kind of suspect right there. Doubtfully they would have cameras. I think schools have cameras, like on the outside. AWB, bottom line, he left and was at least a couple of blocks away when he got attacked on the ground. You're right. It's, for one, I don't buy the story now. I don't buy the story that he even did what he did. I don't buy that story. And for one, the dude 5'2". What you mean? Yeah. I don't know. That I can't wait to when more comes out about that case. Yeah. Yeah. So all right, y'all. I'm gonna wrap it up. Y'all like the video. Appreciate y'all for being here with me. And supporting me. AWB, we out. Before I click out, I'm check the last couple of messages from the chat, because I know it's a little bit of a lag. So but yeah. Yeah, I appreciate all y'all.